so good at pretending. Keep on smiling in my tiny bubble, like a movie without ending. Spending time like it was going backwards. Bruises covering my walls, but they fall down. Diving deeper in the books that we read blind. Breathing in and breathing out to get smarter. Not working out for me, yeah. Got no money on my mind, tell my mommy I'm alright. Even laughing at the jokes you tell me. Keep myself inside the lines, needing tidy all the time. If you ask me, I am fine. Got no money on my mind. Repeating patterns like the others. Meditation through the yoga lessons. Going greener by the minute. Soon I can't wear any other colors. Bruises covering the walls, but they fall down. Diving deeper in the books that we read blind. Breathing in and breathing out to get smarter. Not working out for me, yeah. Got no money on my mind, tell my mommy I'm alright. Even
All right, let's get started, guys. How you doing today? Hope everything is good. We'll start a little early because we had one cool guy in the group, Grady, pulled up, and he was actually cool. A bunch of guys, let's see, tuning in. Let me turn the music down. A bunch of people tuning in saying that, oh, they're being punished and they have to hit the like button. I just, I only kind of want people who get here who are kind of technically inclined and know a little bit about what we're doing. So that is just the way it goes. So people can like that or not. That's not my big deal. You want to make money? You want to hang out with people that are into some cool kind of stuff and know what's happening? Yeah, Dogecoin day traders, cool stuff. Just a little bit of action before we get into the charts. You guys, welcome. It's been a good day for the market, so we're excited to be a part of it. As always, we're excited to have you here. My name is London. This is the Crypto Kingdom, and you guys, we're going to go over the best technical analysis that you can find, okay? I'm a former professional, okay? Financial professional, okay? Lead investment analyst on $1 billion equity fund. Harvard Business School, Duke University. I've studied technical analysis. I didn't learn it on Google. I just didn't. I had the option of learning it on Google. Kind of did some refresher courses, maybe like you guys could do let's say you guys could. A lot of our people have done those. But New York Institute of Finance, if you guys want to find some real pro-grade, what would you say, some technical analysis. We're not in a rush to deliver our information. I don't need to hype up a good investment. People here that have they've joined the top level of membership. They enjoy a professional demeanor. So here you're going to get a professional kind of demeanor. You're going to get a professional, I'd say, kind of a level of diligence, and it's going to be an opinion that you're not going to find anywhere else. So if that appeals to you, we appreciate you guys being here. You subscribers, you loyal, let's say VIP members. What is up? Looks like we had a phenomenal day on a few different fronts. Today we're going to cover Dogecoin. We're going to cover Tfuel. I do have in the link, just so that you guys know, I have in the link two things that you need to see. The first is a link so that you can join VIP. If you're not in VIP, guys, you don't know what you're missing. I have no idea. Honestly, as I take a step back, as I look at it, it costs $99 a month. Are you kidding me? Is that it? Honestly, if someone would have told me at any point in time before I formed this channel that I could get this type of information and pricing targets and this type of information in terms of like when to enter into the trade, are you kidding me? Like, no one is doing this type of information. I looked yesterday at the entirety of the market. It's absurd, guys. I don't know like what you're getting or what you're getting into, but just the returns, like we had a 3.5x in the first 7 to 10 days of the show. That was on top of the live streams that we did, wherein Dogecoin did a 10x. So, we just, that's separate and apart from that. So we've just had phenomenal results, and it's a credit, I'd say, to the VIP members already. To those of you thinking about joining, welcome, guys. We appreciate having you. This is not a hype machine here. We actually dig into the fundamentals. The guys wasting your time and wasting your breath and everything else, probably your money, you can continue to listen to them. We like to be positive here. We don't want to, trash out other stations, but they're trashing themselves out. I saw another deal today where they're getting people to get in on, not just weird technology or weird coins or this or that, but something with no fundamentals, something with like options now. Yeah, they just got creamed on another set of options. I'm like, good gosh, man. It's like, can they quit? The guys, the Dubai Fry guys. You guys know the Dubai Bitcoin dudes. I'm like, come on. They just missed a huge, like a direct, it's unbelievable. So I should be happy that we did not have that occur. In terms of the technicals today, Doge currently at 32 cents, okay? 32 and about, almost 4/10 of a cent. We got a little bit of a rise in Dogecoin. That's exciting news. We're excited to see it. We have been accumulating Doge. So we have been a group that has been the steadfast positive team in terms of Dogecoin. It's been nice because it hasn't been too quick. And as we do say on the top, day trader zone, I do want to do a shout out to all the VIPs. Also to, shout out to Angel on the top left. You see number one, and wow for his baby girl. Great there. I did put him up today. He's been just so generous in terms of elevating the mood here. We have over 100 VIP members who are getting the charts, who are getting the accurate information. We are, we're deploying essentially, our the best that we can in terms of our strategy to maximize your gains. Guys, I'm working hard and I enjoy it. I love doing it because you guys are cool people. I do, sometimes I kind of vent at the entirety of the YouTube crowd because they're just, they're just vicious. It's like they want to make, money and not have to do. They probably want to make money with our money. What do you think, guys? If they could, that's probably all they want to do. It's like, well, I don't know. It's like I don't know what they're doing, but it just, at some point, it's like, respect the space, like respect your community. I don't know what it says when you show up and you have a Dogecoin deal. Think about this for a second, and people will tune out right now, unfortunately, except the crew. And this is how you know you belong, because we can talk about something like this instead of just, blaring at the mouth about how exciting and hyping something is. We can slow down for a minute and talk about the fact, literally, that you have people in the community literally showing up with a picture of a dog saying, we'd like 40 likes, please, and we'd like to begin on probably the most sophisticated technical analysis you're going to find. And we have 7 of them say, no, they don't like it. Well, I don't know what to do. What a positive community, man. That do only good every day. It's just wow. I mean, all I can say is wow. That's really unkind. It seems like, just to get them siphoned out. People wonder why we do that. I don't know why we do that. I guess so. Those people don't show up. Okay, so those people won't join. Okay, so they have no patience. I bet they're not going to be very good at trading. I don't know. That would be my guess, is that they're not going to be very good traders if they can't wait for 10 minutes or something and engage in some conversation. I also like to gauge. See Andrew in the house. What's up, Andrew? Nice to see you. Andrew, you'll see in the top left. Andrew's, I talk a lot to the guys in the community. I just do, because Andrew's a pro. You guys want to take a look at the top left? That's Angel. He's our top. Angel Matos is our top, supporter right now. That's his baby girl. I'm just going to say, Andrew, the top right, I don't know. It's really close, but I saw, I had to put Angel Matos on the top left. He's our top supporter, but I almost just wrote in Andrew right next to the pro. I almost did that, so I want to let you know that almost happened today. So that's exciting news. Guys, the technicals are easy. That's another thing. You may be in a big rush to get through the technicals. Guys, for me, this stuff is easy. And I mean absolutely 100%, zero question, better than anyone else you're going to find in YouTube, kind of easy. You can go through a million hours of other people on YouTube. You are not going to find the level of technical sophistication right here. Okay, you see Duke University, you see Harvard Business School. I don't mess around. The technicals here, you can spend the entirety of the remainder of the next 5 years looking for someone who has the technical intelligence of not just me, but of the members in this crew. We have investment bankers. Okay, we have literal exchange employees. Like we have, hardcore, like military guys. Very, very good technical analysts. Okay, we have guys booking for guys in their first 2 weeks. No, is it their first month? Let me be accurate. Jason's lit in the first month. He's military out of Texas. He has booked right now nine positive trades. 9 positive trades. Okay, that's phenomenal. That speaks huge volumes. And for the people who can't conceptualize what that is, that's beautiful. Congratulations to Jason. I know everyone is excited for him. And it was, it's not intuitive. It's not necessarily something you know how to do, but I'll tell you, the market can beat you. You can catch a wave. Doge has been nice about that wave, guys. It's been nice. Doge has offered that wave to you. But the problem is for people who can't trade at all, like Jason's learned how to trade. Well, they people in Doge, and this is not negative for Doge. It's the pricing dynamic. But I meet people, and it's very difficult for them because they have held and watched $100,000 turn into it's $98,000 to $35,000. That's life-changing money for some people, right? So that's a big, big deal. And that when I hear that, I'm like, I'd like to help people. How can we be of service? And I see someone like Jason being of service to the country, et cetera. It was just it's phenomenal that we're able to see someone like Jason, and he's shouting out. You guys can talk about what all that was. He says that was today, London. So that's nice. I'm just happy to see you're booking trades, brother. However the details work out, we can communicate about all those details. Light it up in the comment section. But yeah, he's working on month 2, and he's just lighting up the trades, booking positive trades. What do? You start to be able to understand, and he's starting to realize price action. So when you look at like the all-time high, of 74 cents, Jason is in the mode right now of, he's understanding the price action. He's understanding kind of the indicators. He's really building the ability, okay, that you're going to be able to achieve that 10x and let it go and redeploy, right? And essentially capitalize on every move, I'd say within a reasonable degree of probability. Are you going to get everything right? No. Is that, almost impossible to say we're going to maximize literally every move? That may be, I'd say that's unreasonable. But Jason's getting, just kind of a firsthand experience. Jason, it must be very interesting for you because Jason wasn't like that. Jason showed up and he still had these tendencies. He wanted to throw more cash at the top. He wanted to get over involved, a FOMO situation here. He had whatever he was doing. His style was not booking positive trades. I had to talk with him like, Jason, if you can, we've been heavy on Doge, right? It's nice because it's kind of slow moving. It's kind of a little bit, when you think of day trading, you think of just like flash trades, immediate, just, in and out, like, and people do that. I have some experience. I have some good trades that have, a hefty account, guys, with trades that are just literally just in and out that quickly. Jason, the discipline that he's put together in Doge, as we have, and we can talk through exactly what we've done. We're amidst a retracement right now. You guys know, to kind of recap, let's just go ahead and recap. We had a run up, originally in January from 007 to 7 cents. That was at 10x. Then we maintained essentially in a consolidation zone. Thereafter, we went in about mid-April, right? We went from 7 cents to 70 cents. Right? We went from 7 to 70 cents. That was the second 10x. That represented a 100x on Doge. It's very difficult to find another investment that's kind of solidly, widely accepted with any kind of management team, dev group, et cetera, and use case potential. In that case, it would be, or in this instance, it would be management team being Elon, et cetera. Okay, there's some additional people involved, Billy Marcus, et cetera. The development team, I think clearly Billy fits that role as well. As additionally, I say complemented now by I would say the efforts that I don't know if it's official or unofficial, but definitely Elon has put forth that effort to recruit some additional developers. So that's good. I always look for kind of a three-prong. First, management team. Second, dev group. Third, utility. Right. So the utility, if we have Elon and kind of the dev group, however that's being put together with Billy Marcus, et cetera, and being assisted or facilitated by Elon, what we have is that third prong, which is the utility, right? It's difficult to find a 100x right now. You can compare, and I'll just say Dogecoin is, because the utility's there in terms of potential for transactions. We have, essentially recently we have paid for, I'd say, what have they done with the rocket, guys? The payload capacity, the space rocket. It's just, there's some big news like that. We can get into the utilities. People want to use it as currency. That's just it. They're indignant on it. One of the strongest, I'd say the strongest aspects of the community is the fact that, they're steadfast in wanting to use it. It reminds me a little bit of Cardano. The more I look at Cardano is a very strong kind of community like that. They're very dead set on what they want. They're very convinced on that. So as we dig into those three factors, like we have a great 100x. That's kind of the story behind, and I could maybe put it more quickly. I want a management team, I want a dev team, and I want some sort of utility, right? So 100x with that involved. It's not just necessarily a pump and dump. It's something you can say, well, it does have an investment profile to it. So that's something that we like. We like to definitely kind of require of things that we look at. Not everyone requires that. So as you guys look at your potential investments, please consider that. I would say please consider that. So when we ran up to 75 cents or so, we've been in a retracement since then. It hasn't been very comfortable. It hasn't been very popular, but it is something that we are that we're very excited about in terms of like the people that have gotten involved during this retracement. We know you're true believers, guys. We know you want to. We know that you want to. You want to trade. You want to get involved with something, and you want to be around some smart individuals. Not just me. I won't even call myself smart. I just work hard, right? A lot of you are, brilliantly intelligent. You're just very, very smart people, very solid businessmen. A lot of you have financial backgrounds, etc. So you guys are some intelligent guys. It's nice to have you as a member of the team. Just shout out to Andrew, definitely. Jason's lit, definitely. Also Yusuf. I see some Basecamp members here. It's nice to see. Nice to see you. So we don't want to overhype the situation. We do have things to get into. It's not a solo crew just for Doge, but it has been something that we have definitely accumulated. Okay, so it's something that we have poured into. So to see some positive price action on it, it's nice, guys. It's nice to see that. Now, a move for about 6% plus or minus. Some of you may have positions currently in it. Others of you may not have a position in it. It's been a good long-term investment. I'll tell you that's been hard to beat. I bring up Cardano because I've just been dwelling on Cardano, thinking about the business potential of it. As I reviewed this weekend, I was really glad on Saturday that I reviewed 200 coins. Why? Because I put that definitely to use in terms of bringing the information to the VIP, guys. And that's what I do is I'll hustle through some information I'll try and, bring the very best information that I can to the VIP. Okay, so that's I just want to make sure that they're covered. If you guys are in base camp, you're thinking about moving up to that level. I think it's a very wise decision. I think it's very nice. I've also redone a little bit of the charting here. I think it's kind of some interesting chart work that we've been sharing some charts with. Let's go through Bitcoin real quickly. I think Bitcoin is an interesting chart. If you guys look at, everyone's playing a triangulation right now. I don't think that's necessary with Bitcoin. And I think it changes the dynamic in terms of what you're looking at. And essentially, guys, what are your expectations right now? Because a lot of people took out options, okay, on this triangulation. I'm going to tell you, a lot of people took out options on a triangulation like this and a breakout. And I'll just tell you guys, even if that option, or even if the triangulation was set up here, it even became more dangerous because they took out a long position. And I'll just tell you guys, they got cooked, right? They took a real hard dive here, which you have to look at things in context. Always look at all of your time frames. Always, guys. It'll tell you a different story. If we look at instead of the hourly or the 2 hourly, if we go to the daily on this, yeah, if we go to the daily, you're in a completely different zone. You have been in a different zone for a while. Okay, so this is difficult right here for people that have entered into a long position right here. You can see the channel work of Bitcoin on the daily. It smokes like smoking aces, guys. Like, I got 4 aces. Yeah, what do you got? Well, I got 4 aces. Almost, guys. Just a really solid channel. Straight across in terms of the daily. That's a difficult pattern amidst retracement. Can it be beat? Sure it can. But would you want to necessarily justify that? I'm just going to say, would you want to justify beating that and putting a large position in? I wouldn't do that. Definitely until you have some sort of a confirmation that you're going to be able to blow through this channel and move to the upside. It's a dangerous game to play. A lot of people are playing it with big money. So in terms of that, let's see what we have. Swing trading, spot trading. Yeah, we got all that good stuff. You guys look at look at the link in the pinned tweet. I would look at that and just be careful about, I would say if you're promoting and hear any kind of options or anything like that, we just try and take care of our VIP, and we want to make sure that everyone is taken care of. So other channels will get into, and it was really unfortunate because they got into options, right? And they've got a big audience, and they want to talk about, whatever they want to talk about. That's fine. If they're going to get into that, that's no problem. The issue is once they got into the option right in here, they called the option, they immediately got washed out this direction, which could have completely closed out their position and whatever financial, depending upon how they were leveraged into it, they completely could have gotten closed out on into it. We knew about this level beforehand, and to see this just completely move in the wrong direction, they immediately call, we're going into an option, we're going long. I'm like, there's a level of resistance here. So it's difficult to watch those types of things occur. And I'm glad that we have a little bit more temperance in our group. So this is Bitcoin. It has, it has a nice trajectory right now within this channel, right? And this is based upon, what is this based upon? It's based upon the daily, okay? So that's just it. It really hasn't changed. We can say, well, it's more exciting now. It sure is, right? Because it's towards the top of the channel where essentially you would probably, you would make the most money if you sold every time here. So most people are excited about it going up right now. I'll tell you, the indications are if you sold every time when it was here, or you shorted every single time when it was here, and this is what no one's going to get this, guys. If you shorted Bitcoin every single time when it was here, thus far you would have made a great amount of money. Okay? But everyone's talking about it going up. Okay, where's the rationale? Where's the rationale when we have literally, guys, we have 1, 2, 3, okay, 4. We have 4 instances. And guys, it's been in this channel for how long? It's been in this channel for working on a month, and it's back here, and now everyone's excited about it breaking out. Absolutely, it would be fantastic if it wants to break out and let's say establish a trend reversal. But we haven't even hit our golden pocket yet. We're retracing, and we haven't even hit our golden pocket yet. So this, as I look at the technical analysis, what is it? It's looking at the previous pricing behavior, and it's applying that to the current situation to essentially give us some sort of guidepost, some sort of direction, guys. We've been here. Okay, I'm going to tell you, we've been at this situation, at this level, almost here. But let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 times, guys. 5 or 6 times. Every time, if we would have sold Bitcoin right now, Guys, every time thus far, we would have made money. Okay, but everyone else, for some reason now, and it happened here, guys, and it happened here, here. All these times, everyone's screaming about, well, it's time to buy it. We're going long on it. You're within a channel. You're within a restricted channel for pricing. This is called a measured move in terms of technical analysis. So in terms of all the hype and everything else, maybe it's not popular to point this out. That doesn't change the fact that it's accurate in terms of the probabilities right now. If you're going to play the probabilities, if you're going to base your holdings on probabilities, okay, you're in a retracement. You guys know that. You're in a retracement. It's not bad news at all. There's plenty of money to be made if the retracement continues. Potentially even more, believe it or not, than if we were to continue to the upside. It takes a little bit different of an approach. You have to actually trade. You have to actually be involved in the market. You can't just kind of be lazy and make a ton of money, where are my keys to the Ferrari? That's nice. That's nice. It's very rare. It may be a little unrealistic. Why? Because markets, guys, as they have studied markets back to the, hundreds of years, over the centuries, markets have retraced. All right, we use Fibonacci's. All right, the Fibonacci's kind of paint a picture of retracement. That's what, like, one of the essential components of technical analysis is retracement. So it's a function of the price going up and the price coming down. Guys, it's a very natural thing to occur. But just look at this. Everyone was, they're just, right now, the airwaves are alive with everyone, screaming about the fact that Bitcoin's going up. I'm not the one screaming that it's not. I just want to point out the technical indications to all of us so that we remind ourselves, if the previous times we were here, we sold every time, we would have made money. Now, there are people in our group definitely that recognize that. I was waiting to watch. I just wanted to see, who was going to throw that up out of our group and in the back door in the DM chat, etc. In the exclusive access. It was just right on. And I just, I think it was Andrew. He says, yep, I just got out. I'll play the breakout. I'm like, copy that. He is one. I mean, that's why the top right's kind of reserved for Andrew. Says pro right there. He's real close, guys. I mean, I don't want to make that judgment call, and I don't want that to be like even a judgment call for me to say he's real close or he's definitely over that threshold. He's there. He's that good. I've been around a lot of pros in my life, and he's about, I don't want that to come out of my mouth that he's more than that or less than that anything. You guys get to know him. I think that's the biggest compliment I can say is just get to know him. He's a VIP trader, and he's on it. He rocks it. So that'll be my invitation to you. Is I don't think you'll get to know a better trader around here. I will say number one. I'll say in the top left. I'll say Angel Matos has had some phenomenal gains, and he's our number one supporter. So I just say, in terms of number one, even Andrew's gonna be like, well, we got to say, maybe the best day trader. I don't know. It's nice to meet Angel. Angel's kind of like, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, Angel's got it, So there's a reason Angel's up there in the top left. We reach out to all you guys, and it doesn't take a dollar bill to make a difference with us. You guys know that. It's the difference is with your level of commitment, I'd say, and with what you guys want to learn, how you want to handle the market. I want people who want to beat the market. And guys, I'm not like a drill sergeant. I mean, thank goodness I'm not, right? I just, half of this stuff, I guess when the market's down or people, immediately they want to make money. It's like, I want to make money on SHIB. It's like, I can't change the market on SHIB. I'm glad it's up 9%. That's fantastic. But I got to tell you, me and my group, we flipped this thing overnight. We literally made a 2X overnight on it, and we literally left it in the dust. I am so sorry, but that's exactly what we did. We're not emotional at all. We appreciate the fact there's a community on it, but I'll tell you guys, we literally made we literally multiplied our money by 2 overnight. Literally, everyone's like, wow, that's a lot of money. Like, yeah, it is. And I was like, yeah, by the way, you're about to lose it all. And like, let's cut this sucker loose. We cut it loose, no problem. So in terms of that, it's nice to see some price action on it. I don't want to be negative, but I don't want you guys to think that like we're emotionally involved in anything, guys. It's not the way to trade. Right? It's not the way to trade. If you're emotionally attached to something, I would encourage you to always keep an open mind about things, definitely, including the fact that maybe it's a natural part of the market for the price to go down of what you're holding. A natural part of the process is the price is going to go up and the price is going to go down. Right? On Doge, it's a natural part of the process. The price has gone up and the price has gone down. All right? We're getting into a consolidation zone. Very normal. Now, during this process, it gives us a great opportunity to practice, to work on trading. And it's been real slow moving, and that's frustrated some people. But for anyone that has something to do other than trade, right? Yeah, for anyone who's like just learning maybe and is just ordering some books on, well, I really want to learn how to trade. People think, it's like a baseball card, no problem. Well, this one's worth that, but let's go ahead and trade these, no problem. Okay, well, guys, it's not a baseball card. This is a sophisticated process. One of the links in the, Josh, what's up? Nice to see you. One of the links in the, what I'd say? One of the links in the pinned tweet right now includes some kind of, more sophisticated software. It's not anything that's like overly technical. It's not like, something you have to go to training for, not even close. But you have to understand what a limit order is. You have to understand what a limit order is. If you want to buy Doge, at what price? It's great that you've decided that you want to buy Doge. I mean, that's a great initial decision. But the question is, at what price? We focus on that question at all times. At what price? That's what we focus on. So constantly involved in the pricing determination in terms of what's a good entry point. So we're looking at Doge in terms of just, kind of saying hello. It's been kind of one of those days. A lot of different people with a lot of different opinions. And we just Doge. We'd like to see it, I guess, as we do a comparative. Let's do a comparative. Why don't we do this? We would like to see Doge right now completing, I think this is the most important kind of thing that we've said right now. I think we'd like to see Doge completing the entirety of its channel, okay? Because we don't have that. And maybe you kind of feel that in the way that you've been trading. That's why I bring up some positive aspects of some slower moving price, because you haven't been really thrown around kind of violently. You haven't experienced, I'd say, this kind of volatility. One of the issues there, though, and you guys just bring this up, there may be a lot of unhappy people. You have to bring that up. There may be some unhappy. Angel Matos in the house. Nice to see you, Angel. Nice to see you. As I say, anyone would be unhappy. It's not going to be Angel. Angel's just got. He's a very happy guy. He's always happy. Nice to see you again, Angel. We're just talking about good things. I got you on the top left of the screen. You and your baby girl there, and it says number one and wow, and then it says day trader and number one supporter. Angel Matos, and it says 900 because I think you've given nine super chats for $99. I think it's great, and we'll see. I don't know if that. I hope that number one stays. We got on the top right. I got Pro right there, and the Pro. I don't know. I want to carve out a corner for Andrew because he's been a big supporter too. He's been awesome, and I just love the skills that he has. And but I got to tell you, you run a tight ship on your investments there. Very nice, guys. Angel just showed up, and he is quite the trader. So I'll just say he's got a great what would you say? Just a great results. Yeah, it's hard to argue with results. So congratulations. A lot of people do, but it's nice to see someone who can express that. So welcome back, Angel. The top left corner, you're kind of the cornerstone up there, brother. And great family picture. If you have another picture you'd like us to use, please let me know. I'd be happy to use it. So as we look at this in Dogecoin, we're going over, and people are like, well, why are you spending time on Bitcoin? We don't want to spend time on Bitcoin. Well, let's talk about that. Why would we? If I look at the Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin's kind of like one of the main influencers, right? Bitcoin has, we're currently looking at Dogecoin, but Bitcoin. Let's do this with the screen. Let's make it a little bit more sense in terms of what we're kind of looking at here. Let's go ahead. We have, let's see, what is this? Doge is in the top left. Okay, let's go ahead and put Doge in the top left. Let's go ahead and put, this is Bitcoin in the top right, okay? Let's go ahead and do this. Let's do a comparative. I think you guys will definitely learn on this. And I think it's important to discuss kind of maybe even emotionally where we're at with our trading, because that's one of the hardest things for us to do. We know that, is to not become emotional when we trade, okay? Some people are bulletproof. I speak with some people that are just like, no, we got this. I know what's going on. Some people are bulletproof in that sense, and I appreciate that. When I encounter those people, it's nice. But I always want to deal with the technicals. I always want to deal with the rationale that is before us. So this channel is probably the most technically inclined that you can get. Some people, they want the hype, they want that stuff. I don't want to deliver that because you guys are dealing with real amounts of money. That may be a little bit isolating for us because not a lot of people are dealing with larger amounts of money. But I think a lot of us are accustomed to doing that in the channel, et cetera, and VIP, et cetera. So that's not going to faze me. That's not the common approach. That's a natural dynamic of kind of what we are. Yeah, what we've accustomed ourselves to, or what we've been around. So we've been exposed to them. On the bottom right, we have, it looks like Tfuel. Very interesting pattern formation forming on Tfuel. You guys who have not been able to buy it, you can go to the pinned tweet right now, and you can look at Gate. It's Gate is the name of it, so you can look at Gate. What is the other? We have Doge, Bitcoin on the top right. We have Matic on the bottom left. Let's look at Matic. Let me bring up Matic on the bottom left, so we can get a picture. And guys, I can pull up. We can do this with we can add in 4 here. We can also streamline another 4, another 4, another 4 if we want to. So we can do that and set that up just to kind of facilitate things in the future. Just some additional ideas that we might want to come up with to better I'd say to be further relevant. What would you say? To increase our relevance to you. And essentially, if we can expedite things, if we can make things more relevant and concise and, I'd say efficient in terms of the delivery, not just in terms of the brevity of it, but also the amount of knowledge, that would be great as well. So as we look, top left, look, we have a channel, correct? We have just a consolidation channel. Where are we getting that? Okay, that is not just some sort of as we look at triangulations. These are formations that are studied, guys, on Wall Street, etc. This would be a descending triangle. It would be a continuation pattern. Okay, it'd be something we would expect. It's a bearish indicator, okay, or a bearish formation, I'd say. So that's just textbook, guys. We read and we study John J. Murphy, Principle of Technical Analysis. It's published by the New York Institute of Finance. Backdoor for Wall Street, guys. We don't study Google. We just don't. We don't study other programs. We have our own certifications, or we at least know people that do, right? Maybe it's not what we know, it's who we know, right? So we'll focus on that too. But where we're getting the notion that this is, I'd say somewhat of a lateral channel amidst a retracement, okay, on Dogecoin, is the fact that right now, that let's go to the weekly real quickly. Let's go to it's going to be on the daily time frame. I want to zoom out. If there's ever a dispute on things, I always like to zoom out, right? It's like everyone wants to talk about a descending triangle, an ascending triangle, a symmetrical triangle, etc. Okay, well, on the daily, I want to talk about Bitcoin, which is the market mover right now. I want to talk about Bitcoin. We can get into Ethereum and some other coins, etc. But on Bitcoin, it's really difficult to divorce yourself from the fact that we are essentially in some degree of we have been in a consolidation, okay? At least we can say on the daily that we have expressed that with multiple contacts along the line of resistance, multiple contacts along the line of support. There was a departure here and kind of a save, right? So that was nice. Now there is a triangulation at smaller, or I'd say at more focused or more narrow time frames, right? We definitely know that. But if we zoom out into the daily, that's what we get on the daily. It's just it's not difficult to see. Everyone would agree with that, right? So I'm trying to fit within the dynamic, okay? As I look at Bitcoin on the top right, that's the market leader, right? So we would want to, and we would expect. Essentially, we would expect to follow that on Dogecoin, okay? We would expect, well, that's the market leader. When it goes up, all the coins go up. We should make money too, right? We should. We absolutely should. And, you would expect there to be a confluence, kind of a dovetailing, kind of an overlap in terms of our returns and the overall returns, let's say the overall returns of kind of the market leaders, right? We would expect there to be definitely a correlation, right? That means two things move together at the same time, like a positive correlation, not a negative correlation. Like, Bitcoin moves that direction and we're moving the other direction. Why? Now, it may occur that we've created kind of an isolated, what would you say, a situation of isolation or an outlier event. Potentially, you could look at Dogecoin right now and say that it's kind of behaving like an outlier. Now, it has those characteristics. Why? Because if we're to look at the expression of its price, it has not completed back up the residual, and it's a decent amount, guys. It's off by about, I'd say, ballpark about 7% or so from where it could be, okay? So if you look at Bitcoin, it has expressed itself fully back to the upside, back to the full side of this channel. So I just do those diagnostics to kind of look at the fact that, where does that place people in terms of their psychology, okay? Because people become very psychologically involved in the market. So they've seen Bitcoin become more aggressive to the upside than Dogecoin has. That's probably frustrated them. It may have frustrated you to a degree. Now, we can talk about, essentially kind of the challenge that represents. Are you booking positive trades? Have you found yourself, it's kind of good training ground, have you found yourself wanting to, kind of FOMOing in, wanting to get involved in the other coin? You know, the next hot thing. Have you found yourself, you know, even though you're practicing on executing and booking positive trades, have you found yourself, you know, well, I'm looking over at this one. Has anyone, you know, decided, well, I'm just going to put my money in there real quickly, see if it works. It's already up. I want to see if it goes up even more. Right? If there's no technicals, guys, it can be a dangerous game. I just say it can be a very dangerous game to get involved with. So I just want to caution you guys that and why don't we remind ourselves, it's a very don't appreciate all the what do we have in here? Let me get you off the channel. That's a lot of comments there, a lot of comments. Yeah, 3-star in your opinion, Angel, absolutely. In terms of Bitcoin, it's doing well. It's just, it is within this channel. The probabilities would be, and there's probably more going on right now. And I would say, in all honesty, we really need to dig into it right now and watch it very closely. We can't do that. But I just want to check in with everybody because you guys are, this is the team, right? You guys are the team. And I want to make sure that you understand that I understand, or that, you know, it's fully comprehensible to me that possibly you're a little bit, you know, frustrated, right? It's like, well, Bitcoin did all of that. The one axiom that I'll fall back on, and I want you guys to never forget this. This is just it. Without FOMOing being a problem, always setting up multiple trades. That's huge. That's hugely important. Always setting up multiple opportunities to engage your cash and to spend your time in the market. Hugely important. Also, our axiom is this. It's like we'll get into a lot of program trades, limit orders, etc. The axiom is, well, you know, the problem would be, well, the market maker didn't pick me up. Really? All right, well, you know, what's the solution to that? Well, I got in anyway. Okay, cool. So the market maker didn't pick up your order. No, he was up, like if you're looking at this on the right-hand side. Yeah, he was up in this area about, you know, 34,635. Man, he didn't come pick me up. I was right here at 33,000. You know, just about let's say $300 underneath. It was so close. Man, he didn't pick you up, huh? You didn't get your orders picked up. No. So what happened? Well, I got in anyway. Yeah. Oh, cool, huh? So you went ahead and made a decision and you got in anyway. You notice kind of like a trend reversal, or, you know, an interim. I'd say an interim kind of frequency reversal, which there are micro trends, etc. in here. So without a reference to let me get away from anything dealing with corporate Bitcoin. I won't get into that at all. Microtrend. I think there's some companies named Microtrend. But as you look at that, it's like the market maker didn't pick me up. Well, what happened? Well, I got in anyway. All right, so that's where the teamwork comes together. That's where I like to see. I like to see you guys plugged in like that as a team, because you're constantly reminding each other of those circumstances, of those situations. You're constantly, kind of able to, to pick up on the mindset of the other people in the team. As I look at, you guys interacting on the DM, right, on the direct message board, like it's just critical when I see you guys able to communicate and having a good time, and showing different computers, different equipment, different things. That's important, guys. Know what equipment you're on. What are the capacities of each other? You work as a team. Like, okay, we know. Kent has a nice MSI laptop. Great. It's kind of a graphics card. It's capable. It's quick. He can probably handle multiple, whatever it is, guys. You need to rely on each other like that. And the stronger that your team is, the stronger you're going to be. So it's not just, what the latest, greatest idea is. It's just, use that teamwork, guys. It's really crucially important. So, and it's also important for us to say, yes, we understand. It seems like we've maybe underperformed because we were kind of thinking, everyone was kind of thinking, maybe, right, that and let's take a look at this. And now maybe we outperformed on a few others. We could take a look at that. But yeah, we were kind of expecting at least to be kind of where, if we were exactly where Bitcoin were, at least Bitcoin, right? Because you have to look at this. That would be kind of a full expression of this channel. So why aren't we there? Well, I don't know. What I would say is this. Bitcoin last year in, March of 2020, I think went down to about, what was it, guys? It went down to, I want to say 3,800, something like that, about 4,000. Right, it went down to about that. Then this year it went up, if we do the multiples, it went up to about 65,000, right? So it's been about maximum, I'd say a 20x maximum. Okay, that's on the high side. That's some aggressive math getting to that level. Okay, a maximum of about 20x, all right. What has Dogecoin been? Dogecoin's been over a 100x. Okay, so maybe we have a few days like this. Maybe we have a few instances, all right? So I'm willing to take a few of these days as we focus on something that's just been phenomenal in pricing, with the understanding that I have no problem at all at any point in time moving into a trade with Bitcoin. Now, what's happening with Bitcoin right now? I said it was something we probably need to take a closer look at. Right now, okay, does that execute automatically with you? I don't know. Let's take a closer look. Let's get exactly involved with what's going on. I'm going to say on the bottom side too, you have Theta. You have Tfuel that's breaking out as well. Tfuel looking like, is it busting out to a new all-time high? I don't know. That's kind of exciting. So we have Bitcoin running with Tfuel. Let's go to a dual screen here. I want to do that because where's Doge? Where's Doge? The market maker didn't pick me up. Okay, what'd you do? Well, I got in anyway. Okay, good. We're seeing Doge break through that flag right there on the top left. Let's go ahead and leave Doge up. All right, I hope you guys can see this. Put this on a TV. Sit around and enjoy the if you can, and just yeah, put it on TV. It'll show a lot better. Put it on a big screen. Put it on something with a little bit of action. Doge is going to break out of that flag formation and hopefully run up to. I'll give you a price target on that so you guys can see where that's headed to. Hopefully, it's going to get you, just to the top of that channel. Thus, the potential frustration as Bitcoin is breaking out. I just say Doge is going to have some kind of pent-up demand. They talk about that stuff. Doge should have some different dynamics to it coming into the mix. As we look at this long wedge here for Matic on the bottom left, I just want to focus on this narrowing wedge here for Matic. I think that's a very interesting formation. I don't think it's overly relevant because, guys, if we're going to just practice on bear markets, I'm going to tell you why is it a bear market? Because typically you're disappointed, right? It's just like we built up so many of those potential trades. We counted, and we just you can have just sad songs from it. I don't want to have those sad songs like potential move to the upside from the breakout of this channel. Sure, 50%. Could Matic do it? Potentially Matic could. It could express the full kind of amplitude of this, of the entirety of this narrowing wedge. It could. Okay, we're in a retracement, right? It's nice to see though. This is a move. Okay, for Bitcoin. Let's dig into it as we look at the breakout. Let's zoom in first of all with Doge. We do see. Let's just look at how this is going to interact. Let's go ahead and go down to like the 3-minute. There we go. Now we need to see some more velocity, Doge. Okay, and now I'm even going to want to probably, I'm just going to say it's a little bit more as you dig down into the time frames, everything's going to change in terms of your pattern formations. It just is. So if you stay consistent on those in terms of, well, I always look at let's say the 3-minute. Okay, it's difficult sometimes to actually, just count on the 3-minute at all times. I would say if we really, narrow the scope here, if we really dial in the scope here, we're going to say, well, if we're at the 3-minute, we still probably have some breaking out to do. And this may not be a popular move. I'm going to say breakout upside, okay, from flag. On Doge, I'm automatically going to be notified when this breaks out or when it tries to break out, okay? In the meantime, I'm going to also put in a breakdown flag this is on Doge. So I'm going to be notified if it breaks down or if it breaks out. Okay, now we can look at, and it's trying to break out now. So we'll increase this threshold a little bit. This is just programming. It's real simple. Right-click on a trend line on any line. Right-click on a desktop. Make sure you're on a desktop, and you guys will be able to, you'll be able to kind of program things up and keep yourself informed in terms of what's going on. Okay, so we do see an expression of kind of a limitation of the channel right here. Guys, we see, a typical kind of flag formation. It's just, it's a nice bull pennant if it can make it. We like to see a stronger move to the upside. We like to see more direct acceleration and kind of a greater formation of this initial move. They do say flags fly at half mast, right? That's essentially saying that they will achieve the full expression of what they've already achieved. They fly. This is kind of like a flag or a pennant. They fly at half mast. All right, so we would expect this full move to complete itself to the upside if it can, if it can do that. But it's been choppy along the way. It hasn't been real highly technical, but still, we're zoomed in, so we're going to expect some movement on the price chart. So this hopeful, I'd say 34 cents, it can definitely get there. I would expect it to, if everything else is kind of, there's going to be some pressure on some individuals, I'm going to say that, who may be in charge of kind of influencing, et cetera, if Doge continues to I don't know. to not underperform. It's just slowly performing. That's the only thing. After a huge performance, it's like it's gone up 100x. So yeah, after a huge performance, it's kind of and it is getting some life to it now. It's nice to see. But yeah, it's just slowly performing. It's like it's not in a rush at all. A very interesting demeanor, temperament to Doge. So that's nice. Let's go ahead and rail back into. Let's look at BTC. Let's go to I'd say a more condensed time frame. Now that's what you want to see. That's nice. Unfortunately, people who took out an option here may have gotten washed out once it hit this line of resistance. I've had this line of resistance here since before it hit. And guys, what was that? That was a lateral channel in terms of resistance. You guys got the tweets from me. You guys saw that. I'm like, this is where it needs to go, and literally, bam, it goes right there. It stops. And while everyone's screaming, it's breaking out, I'm like, well, there's a resistance line here. So I really hope that the masses did not get taken to the cleaners on that option they entered. I just, when 200,000 or 300,000 people are hearing something, it's like, wow, that's just, if they have cash reserves, et cetera, to cover a position while it moves in the opposite direction, that's one thing. Right? If they don't and they get washed out, and it's just, it's not exactly the, join Bybit, get $3,000 free. Well, you just took, 8,000 for, or 10,000 for me to get my 3,000. Essentially, it can be a real bad. People don't give away money for free, guys. You know that. People do not give away money for free. So as we see the breakout here of Bitcoin, what are the price targets here? Where is this at? Would you guys prefer to use a Fibonacci extension? That's one possibility. We're amidst a retracement. So I was going to have the discussion with someone today. I didn't have the opportunity, but I probably raised the threshold here a little bit. And if you guys have exposure to Bitcoin, it's nice. This is a nice move if you do have exposure to Bitcoin. That's it's just a matter of fact. It is. So congratulations to those of you who are trading Bitcoin. I've just raised my threshold here on the hourly just to see. Still I'm in the process. I'd say of just of looking at kind of a measured move. Now it looks like we have kind of a nice flag formation on the hourly. When I look at the candles, that's nice. That's a nice indication of where it's immediately going. I'll say in terms of like flags fly at half mast. That's a nice indicator there that a lot of people right now are trading. A lot of people are trading that right now. So many that I would be very surprised if it doesn't get almost precisely to $40,794. I'd be surprised. It would underperform if it does not get to that level. It's just a very, very cleanly put together bull pennant. Okay, that's a bull pennant. So I would be very surprised if it does not get to that $40,794. Okay, that's technically, guys, what's indicated. That's all I can say. And I'll never apologize for talking about anything that's technically indicated. Not financial advice. It's just, it should be financially accurate. Right, I'm certified in markets, etc., from Duke University. So I've worked across the table from Harvard Foundation. So I've been the lead analyst on $1 billion equity fund. So that's technically what's indicated. If it underperforms, well, I guess Bitcoin taught everyone a lesson. Am I saying like a degree of accuracy or potentially accuracy? Yes. Technically, this is geared towards the full expression at 40,794. Now, in terms of a position. In terms of, I'd say, is it guaranteed? Is it? You're never going to hear that from me. You're never going to hear me. I just talked about the fact. Do not go. I would not go into options. What's one compromising factor here? A previous high, where right in around this area, just where people have already encountered a frustration here, and around late May, $40,071. What's another frustration? Well, the previous high. Right, so we can get all through the full technical expression, and we can go through some of the cut loose points along the way to where this is not that's why it's not a clear path to absolute stardom. Now, as in terms of kind of a breakout, and it's just going to take a lot for Bitcoin to fully reverse. Why is that important? Because it's kind of the main market driver. It's good to see it up. I love to see it up. The more up, guys, as Bitcoin, what was it? Dogecoin actually. If you guys recall, Dogecoin broke out from about 6 cents, 5 to 6 cents, where it was for a while. It started going up to about 10 cents, 11 cents, 12 cents, right? During that process, it really just kind of took the socks off the market, right? It was really, really exciting to see that move up, and it achieved kind of a parity at a tenfold. It was like a million Doge equation going around where a million Doge were equivalent to one Bitcoin. thereafter, it was like, that just that the entirety of that equation just changed very quickly. So, Doge has the ability to absolutely stun people, and it just has created a lot of wealth. It's created a lot of excitement and a good community. So we appreciate being a part of Dogecoin, absolutely. And as we look at that, we'll see what the technical expression is. All along this point, you'll have people taking profits in here. Just taking profits, seeing what their threshold is. It's not necessarily a huge move, but it does. It does. I'd say add up as you were to look at the aggregate of it, kind of the aggregate effect. Let's look at let's see here. If it wanted to do something along these lines, and I would probably have an A, B, C, D, maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of approach in terms of what it could do right now. And I'd try and divorce myself from all the other information for a moment as well and do some real good analytics and just look at, okay, what would this tell me? And I do a lot of this work, guys, before I come up with anything that I decide to kind of release out to the VIPs or talk about in public. It's just the level of professionalism that's required, the diligence that's required. Is not just let me scribble this on the back of a napkin and let's go with this, or let me Google this real quickly and see what I'm supposed to say here. No, that's not really the level of analytics. I really prefer a professional level, professional grade. When I have pro grade, guys, I just hey, speak of professional, what's up, David? Sweet, nice to see you in the chat. You just caught my eye. Nice to see you. VIP family in the house. I guess you definitely did. You did well today. I would imagine that you entered into a lot of trades. We have AMC coming up tomorrow. Should be interesting, huh? We nailed that pricing target on what was it, Friday? So that was really exciting. I think it was Friday. We nailed that pricing target. Nice move to the upside. We'll see what AMC has in store. This is interesting here in terms of what's going on with Bitcoin right now. Wouldn't necessarily want to see this just completely collapse back into the channel that we've been discussing. I would remain neutral in terms of kind of exposure of ideas to people, etc. Just because I don't like to see people get hurt, particularly with options or anything else like that. It's one of the most devastating things that people can have situated with them is just huge losses in really high in highly risky investments. It makes something like Dogecoin kind of seem nice right now. It hasn't experienced the huge upside, but there's just a degree of uncertainty here. If you have a position in Bitcoin, you're doing great. A lot of people are talking about kind of an inverse head and shoulders. Let's go ahead. I assume they are. Let's go ahead and talk about the inverse head and shoulders just briefly and see what we can come up with here. And if this is something that we definitely want to see happen, we can see how it's contraindicated potentially on different time frames. This is real interesting as to which, let me snap this to the grid. Let me see, definitely snap on there. There we go. As to which, I guess, shoulder you're going to form, but I think we'll go with the nearest shoulder on that. So it looks like we're flirting with the formation or the breakout right now. The breakout right now, that extra move potentially has gotten you to the breakout of kind of an inverse head and shoulders. Is it completely clean? It doesn't look completely perfect. They don't have to. Okay, so that could be a more phenomenal move in terms of the overall expression, and that would give it some more. I'd say some more, some more profit to you guys. Let's say that, not it. You give you guys some more profit if you're trading it. So, I'd say Bitcoin has been not uninteresting to trade. Recently, it hasn't been uninteresting. If it's got some price action to it, like we're not going to necessarily miss it on a breakout. We'd probably be there. But let's see here. Okay. So we have a kind of a strided level up to the 45,321. Not bad. This would get like a check mark if it technically wants to comport. Now you could do some risk analytics, right? You could do a kind of a risk derivative kind of approach to things, and you could have positions all the way along the map. Now, wouldn't it just be nice to set up your positions, every single one of these, and it's not a big deal. You just have kind of alarm bells that'll go off, and those alarm bells are kind of probably preset kind of orders that you decide to kind of set up, and you have things scaled in and scaled out to where this is all strategically planned and it's not a big deal, and all those little alarm bells will just go off and let you know that you're kind of like a top tier, right? Top tier exit that's kind of predetermined. And we would go to maybe the next one, and we would say, well, maybe this is like a second tier exit, right? And maybe all this has been already programmed up. Maybe you can strategize to this level. And this would be like a tier 3 exit, right? And these are all different levels of profit that you could program in, right? And I could program this in right now. This would be a tier 4 profit. What's that? Tier 4 trade exit right there. All right, so all of these can kind of be, set up in terms of a degree of certainty. Tier 5 exit, okay? And you could have a, there we go. But you could have on the next, please, there we go. On the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll do the next one. Would be kind of like a tier 6, okay? A tier 6. Now, what would really dictate the tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? We're going to get notifications. They're just going to start ringing. Right now, if I could set that up, my phone just buzzed right now. I could probably set up orders just like this to execute or to recompound, etc. In terms of reinvestment on something that's moving like this. I could probably set all that up, right? And I could get the assistance certainly of like a broker, etc. If I were to explain to him kind of a risk threshold that I have, right, or a trading dynamic that I wanted to employ, or a strategy that I wanted to put forth, right? That's not very, I bring that up because when we talk about strategy on the downside, you guys know we're very sophisticated in terms of how we approach things. This would be kind of an extended, extended model. People might say, well, scaling in or laddering out, et cetera. Well, potentially. If trades are executing up and along the way as you go up, it might be a little bit different, okay? If you're working into kind of the probabilities of where you are at each kind of, I'd say, what would you say, turn in the road here, you would want to know, well, okay, that would be a new trade potentially that would occur here at potentially a heavier level or a lighter level. Interesting. Okay, so you could get to one point and it could be kind of a greater degree of certainty. Okay, so you could have those discussions we could have those discussions in terms of, well, which zone actually might be of I'd say a greater degree of certainty. Okay, so there would be a zone in here which might have some dynamics to it, technically speaking, right, that would give it a greater degree of certainty. Wow, so I could go heavier in one of these zones because it might implicate that the overall market is definitely trading, for instance, the inverse head and shoulders, which is what I'm talking about. So I don't have to go necessarily completely light, and maybe I could mitigate my risk if I'm really certain that one of these zones, it's definitely going to be taking off within this kind of giant inverse head and shoulders. Yeah, okay, I like that because that would give me, I'd say, some increase. Increased probability, right, and some decreased risk. So yeah, these are set up with that in mind. For those of you who just kind of paid attention to that, it's not necessarily just jumping on board right here. Hey, everybody, let's jump on board. Right now, this is a different scaled approach, and different scaled approach that I would say measures relative to your inverse head and shoulders that everyone's going to talk about. Everybody on the internet right now is going to talk about the inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin. Okay, no one's going to talk about the fact that there are probably levels of certainty within this. Both, I'd say, less certainty potentially towards the top. Okay, depending upon whether or not you have a different formation within this. If you were to go up, right now. Within that, I don't think anyone's going to discuss the level of, the level of certainty within these different, I'd say, kind of zones, right? If we have the tier 1, tier 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which one is the greatest degree of certainty, right? That's I'm going to tell you one thing right now. It's not where we're at right now. But that's where people would want to jump in, right? That's where all the Dubai guys or wherever else, I give them a hard time. I wish them the best. We got to love them all. I love the space. I hope that it's bringing some credibility to the market, because where people want to join in right here, this isn't necessarily the highest degree of probability. Now, it may be the greatest profit. I'd say the greatest degree of profit if you want to maximize your profit. But if you're dealing with something that could misbehave based upon different levels of potential resistance that have already been kind of entered into, that are kind of set in stone, maybe, I don't know, a desk at JP Morgan might have, who knows? So we're cutting loose at this point. Yeah, this is our threshold right here, and around 39,000. We don't want it to get over 40,000. Really? Wow. Okay. So that's kind of a zone of danger in here. Okay, I see the rationale. 40,000 is kind of like a cutoff level. Okay, it's kind of expressed that one, kind of a few different times, up in this area. Then it was like a lower kind of threshold, about 39,000, depending on which time frame you look at. But in around this $39,000 to $40,000 seems like a big deal to get past. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily want to cut a video. Even if it was just like a small gain, etc., I wouldn't want to cut a video and say, "Hey, we're going to definitely do this," because a lot of money could be riding on this. Each coin's about 40 G's right now, right? So you could definitely take a ride on. Well, we're studying technical analysis. Well, okay, we are, but we also have this huge wall at $40,000, right? So different tiers may represent different phases of the trade. I encourage you guys to think that way a little bit. Try and think through not just what you're looking at technically, because guys, you can look at Google. I wouldn't recommend it at all. I'd say most of us have, because you don't have the books, right? We don't have the materials. We have the materials. Our VIP group is a dedicated kind of upper echelon tier 1 group, guys. A lot of professionals, investment bankers, exchange employees, etc. I bring those guys up because I give them a hard time all the time. I hope they're doing well. We have military guys that are into kind of technical, tactical kind of analytics. We have blue collar workers, business owners, etc. And we're successful in the market to the extent that we're all, that's our goal. Let me say that. Everyone has the same goal of beating the market. Now, we're going to do that with some logic and some rationale. We're going to go ahead and recognize, yes, this is a textbook, and we use the textbooks we have for years, okay? So this is a textbook, inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Great, that's easy. You can look that up on Google. You sure can. I doubt you can look up I'd say the relative, what would you say, the relative, measure of risk as you would go through where your entry point might be on this or any other coin, on this or any other investment, whether or not this were literally a commodity or a derivative, or this were a different coin or a different stock, right? No, we would want to measure this, okay, the trade relative to the previous resistance levels so that we could enter into, and this is not financial advice, this just makes sense, guys. If we have previous levels of resistance in here that we may not be able to get up above, we're not going to take out let's not leverage ourselves into a position right here. Let's not listen to the other channels just for a moment, because look at all these levels of resistance, right? We're just right here. Yes, sure, we just broke the neckline. We just did. Technically, we just broke the neckline. We can get all excited about it. But guess what? We know there's all this resistance right here. So we're not going to enter into a new heavy position just yet. In fact, I want to see it kind of get up in this zone. This zone right here, I'm gonna kind of dedicate this zone to, a potential. And I'm going to say this zone, I really like this zone. Yeah, I really like that zone in between 42,650 and 42,320. Absolutely. That's a zone I could really dial into if it wanted to start to complete that pattern. Right? So yeah, that's a zone I could really get into. I mean, it'd be real interesting for me to get into that zone. Right? Out of everything here, that would be really interesting. And I mean, maybe I always talk about getting, going in light at the top, etc. But that would have a different expression because you had already conquered all these different potential levels of resistance beforehand, right? So that's kind of the sweet spot that I would look at, I would identify in this something I could potentially go heavier in. Some of you like to use leverage. Some people in the channel, et cetera, are into leverage, right? So that's key as you look at things like options. I'll tell you can try and write it out from right here, and you can listen to another station. You can get involved. To tell you, the guys in our channel are smart. The VIP guys, they have done well, and there's a reason, because they can tolerate a lot of, and it's a highly strategic, almost tactical level of discussion. It's highly intelligent information, and in terms of market intelligence, it's not for everybody, and it's something we have to continually synthesize ourselves. We have to continually remind ourselves of a strategy. We have to continually, when I say synthesize it, we have to process it. We have to absorb it. We have to, and it's just there's a dynamic, facet to that, where being a part of the market becomes, I would say, enjoyable to that extent, that you're around other people who can also synthesize that information. Have kind of advanced discussions on this right here. And now there may be a counter argument. I'd love to hear, how much I would love to hear a counter argument, believe it or not, as to this not being kind of the sweet spot. I would love that. I would love to hear that from somebody else, because everybody, guys, literally everyone is going to say, no, we just broke the neckline, sir. We're going to enter in right here, and we believe it's going to go to here. Great. Where are you going to maximize your involvement? I mean, what if you wanted to get more heavily involved in a certain area? And I'm not even saying I leave it open for discussion. Excuse me, because I'd like to see. Well, someone else is going to say, actually, it's going to be right in here. All right, well, great. Or someone's going to say, well, actually, we've calculated it, and it's between tier 2 and 3. Okay, cool. Because and I would go with that because I see you're going to argue that it's gotten over the previous resistance line here. Yes, and we're going to give it halfway up through here. Great. What's your threshold? A lot of it's going to depend as well upon. Those are just different discussions you can have. Once you've played these kind of things out over time, you'll see why you may choose this. You may choose this, the zone that I've come up with, over this zone. Okay, so as you're booking positive trades right now, understand this is a completely different level. Right? But it starts to determine as people ask the question, I want to know when to sell. Okay, well, how about I want to know when to enter? All right? Because, I'm not in that big of a rush, guys. Right? I have a heavy cash position ready to deploy at different levels. That doesn't mean just on the downside. I just want it to go down. Not at all. But you see the small portion here that I'm potentially now, I may let some ride for fun all day long, no problem. I probably have no issue with that. Right on Doge. I'm a really easygoing guy, right? I'll let some things just absolutely roll. I don't have a problem with that. But as we look at like entering into a trade, a lot of people see level of sophistication now. They're like, I like this, right? Because it's not all just down it's not all down lower. Well, we can't even enter into a trade until we go down. Absolutely not. But the level of sophistication and analytics are going to be there to be like, yeah, where are we going to throw this? Instead of going down, where are we going to throw this? Let's do it right there. Boom. You see? Why? Because what's the highest probability event? See, now your gears are turning. At least your gears are turning in terms of doing that exploratory, that exploratory work as you look at, okay, it's not just about breaking out right here. That's the easy answer. That's the Google answer. This is probably more like the JP Morgan answer, the Credit Suisse answer. Potentially. And we have some former employees from JP Morgan. So I'd be surprised if they wouldn't say it could be. It could, maybe not exactly right now, but it could be. This is the highest probability trade within this. At least we have this geared up to go. And I tell you, somebody made that trade on Bitcoin earlier today. Okay, when you saw that crank to the upside, just absolute, it was over, right? It was started, and unless you had these alarm bells on, it was an interesting move. It's interesting to me to always start this stream, and I'm like, okay, I want to see 40 people show up. It's interesting to me who reacts. Because a lot of the times I just think in the background, I'm like, well, I wonder how they're reacting to their trades, or maybe they are reacting to their trades right now. That's the reason why they're not here. But I like to train people, and even myself included, to react to a notification bell, right? Yeah, react to a notification bell, no problem, right? I want to be able to quickly, bam, bam, I want to be able, on my cell phone or whatever it is, I want to be able to react like that. So this is more sophisticated than the average investors going to probably want to deal with, but it's the level of sophistication that I expect to bring to you guys. I want you to understand just a different dynamic, and at least during this time, guys, if we're frustrated by the price, we're hoping it goes up. This is the absolute opposite of hype. You guys agree with that? I think we all agree. This is a next level kind of approach to where you're, and because we have not done this. We have not done this where we have talked about kind of a zone of high probability on the upside where it would be potential. Instead of us, I'd say instead of us doubling down, maybe tripling up kind of a different kind of way. Not just getting a 3X like we did on Matic. Maybe this would be something you would potentially want to go heavier into on the upside because it has a different risk profile to it. Right? So that I bring that up as just kind of, something that we can discuss because there's a lot more where that came from. All right, there's a lot more where that came from. We don't discuss it all the time, but in terms of the crew that's here, that's interested in this level of sophistication, it's just there's a lot more where that came from. And you say, well, I want to become a day trader. I want to trade full time, this and that. These are one of the techniques that you might put into play. Not just we're going to see what happens here. Well, it's like, is this really the perfect time to enter? Right? Because and this is a different level of critique. I'll say that. than just saying, well, such and such said this and that, and they may be wrong or right, because anyone can be wrong or right, okay? Everything deals with a level of variability. We don't want to, I don't want to be overly caustic, right? Carping or caustic, that means fault finding. I don't want to do that necessarily. I want to be positive and reinstilling of positive ideals. I'd say that, reinforcing good ideals in others, that's sounds like a report card, that's fine. So, but as we see that, you're starting to get a picture of the fact, you might agree. And the difference is, someone might be willing to, normally they're going to pay $5,000. They're going to enter in with $5,000. Or maybe they're going to buy one Bitcoin. Maybe someone's going to buy one, or maybe someone's going to buy 100, right? Or someone, maybe more than that. The question would be, during this, as you're looking at the overall moves of the market, what has the greatest degree of success here? Well, it might be this. It might be this. It might be either tier 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. But everyone wants to know, well, where do I exit on this? Where is the key function? Sometimes this will work just all the way to the top. Other times it'll get frustrated by something else. It's nice when it works perfectly. It's really nice if you can find the sweet spot right somewhere and you're able to potentially go heavier. I'm going to say do your own diagnostics in this or on this. Absolutely. This is built for a discussion. This conversation is built for a discussion. I think it's still very logical. I would do some additional work, me personally, on this before I were to hit the button on something that had that much more of a degree of exposure. Like we're talking like you want to put an extra 0 there? Okay. An extra, or something, right? Yeah, it would be a different level of not just, we decided to carry, 10 grand into this trade. Okay. Or, whatever that figure would be. This might be a different trade that you would look at. And I always think even a smaller trade to start thinking this way, because people are executing different, they're booking positive trades right now. You guys are booking positive trades. That's nice. To get this dynamic in play and say, no, I'm going to do this because it has the greatest degree of probability, essentially, just to be able to think that way is really nice. That's an accomplishment in and of itself, to be able to designate different zones, right? Now, some people are probably thinking it sounds like you're talking about a Fibonacci extension. Potentially. But the Fibonacci extension that we would get into is compromised by essentially, I don't want to say that a Fibonacci extension is compromised. Okay? I just don't want to use it necessarily on a retracement. So that's all I'm going to say. I love them during. I really enjoy a Fibonacci extension during the properly designated part of the trend, of the overall trend. I don't want to use it right now. So as I look at different things, I want to, because I don't want people necessarily to rely upon like the golden pocket. Okay. Yeah. And I'll say that as a matter of fact, we haven't even hit the golden pocket on the retracement, right? Yeah, we haven't even hit that yet on the retracement. So now we're going to start relying upon it, upon a potential pivot. It becomes inconsistent. You get into some circular logic at best, if not just some inconsistencies that I think could be damaging to your position. Now, it's not unheard of to become a little bit conservative, to still trade, but become a little bit conservative when you're dealing with a bearish, I'd say a bear sentiment or a retracement. It's just not unheard of. I think it pays well in terms of your market returns, typically, to consider the overall trajectory here that we are amidst a retracement. And that hasn't really changed at all. So, it's going to have to, and the problem will be, and we've been through this with Doge, has been great training grounds, guys. It's really been nice training grounds. I've appreciated it very much, and I have, because it's been, I'm going to say this, it's been slow moving. For however people want to say it's underperformed, it's been a consistent mover, but a slow mover. It's enabled people to book positive trades, and it's just been, aside from the profitability of it, which it's made a lot of people a lot of money. Let's get to a kind of a more solidified time frame. A smaller increment on the time frame. Let's go to the 1 hour. We may go even further down than that. Let's get a kind of a close-up view. Let's go to like the 3 minute and look whether or not we've moved. We do have alerts set up on this, and it looks like it's kind of retracted a little bit into it. So we're just, when I say it's a slow moving, it seemed like it was moving pretty well earlier on. It's slowed down. No problem. We're happy to still trade it. It's great proving grounds. Okay, it's just great. It just is. It's kind of built like that. And it's nice because it's geared towards a lot of us, had never been in crypto, right? Some of us until like last week, right? We just got involved in crypto. We don't know exactly kind of where to go. Dandro, nice to see you, bro. Also, Josh, what's up? Nice to see you. Angel, what's up, brother? Nice to see you up on the screen. So alert, damn, I'm going to say down. So we spent a lot of time as well, and I really felt positive about spending time on Saturday. I hope you guys appreciate that because I spent like 6 hours at least, right, with that, and more time afterwards because I really, I think it paid great dividends. And let's see, we have Doge. We want to put Bitcoin up. Let's put Bitcoin here, BTC up here. But after that on Saturday, excuse me, that was nice to go through about 200 of the top coins that the market maker was pushing to me, because then I was able to give that information to the VIP. And that's just huge, right? Because we did have kind of a run up. We did have some things that moved, right? And so I'm fully versed right now. Like I'm lasered eyed, not just, well, such and such logged into a chat and wanted to what would you say? Wanted me to review a coin, so I did. No, this was, you guys know, I poured over everything the market maker was giving me on Saturday. So there's, I'm not going to miss anything. I just, I'm not right now. And so I've got alerts set up all throughout this, able to look at, I've got the visual imagery on it before I even go to the specific, I click through anything. I know where it's at. So there's a nice formation if you want to look at alpha. Right, that's a potential breakout there. I've got the handle on these right now because I spent so much time on Saturday. So that's important. That's just nice. That's what do you say? Preparation meeting. I don't know. Opportunity. Yeah, I like that. That's a kind of a tagline. We can do that. Up and out. Over. There we go. So that's how I like to run things. People who beat the market. It may not be wildly entertaining. It may not be the best, but you guys have gotten a little bit of an insight into what, not what is required of you. I won't say that this is definitely required of everyone who wants to beat the market. This is, sign up on Tuesdays because that, no, that's not what's required. You guys have signed up for VIP, so I'm happy to do this for you. It's not that I require this, of anybody, much less myself all the time. But I love the market like this. I want to be able to capture each and every angle on it, and just to understand, exactly what is occurring in it, why, and what and why, and kind of with whom, right? I get to that point too, guys, where I'm like, okay, I want to know who the major players are. Let me know, is this a good market or not? So I'm a little critical of some other people, and the reason is that I like the space to be full of individuals who, like, my members. Like, I'm protective of you guys. I don't want you to necessarily have to click on a YouTube or something else that's just, it's marketed to you and you get something and it's harmful information. I want you to have the full scope. So you need to know my opinion on things in terms of how, of how I perceive those things and how you perceive them too. Sometimes you're busy. Like I'm busy. I'm, halfway eating a sandwich. I'm talking on the phone, and I'm out the door for another business meeting. All right. Well, you hear one thing, somebody screaming on a YouTube video, and you're like, that's all you heard. Next thing you know, that's what you're doing in your portfolio. It's like, wow. So it's good for when we do sit down and really chat like this, for us to be able to kind of go through that information, right? So Sheeb is doing okay. It's nice to see Sheeb do something, huh? Sheeb wants to kind of pick back up. Wouldn't that be wild if Sheeb just surprises everybody and wants to completely go through the roof? Shout out to Sir Charles and some other people who, I think B1 Life, who believe in Sheeb. I like communities that believe in their coin. I don't get emotional about coins. I just don't, or investments at all. I just don't. It's not the preferred mechanism to achieve results. So as we look at, let's do kind of a quick sort here. We can say Sheeb is actually on top right now, 8% up. That's the top right that you're looking at. XCH Chai Network is doing well. We looked at that on Saturday. It's got some different potentials to it. ATA, I brought that up to the group. ATA, that was up. What was that up last night, guys? It was up 50%. Yeah, I think like 50%, doing really well. It looks like it's continuing to move up. A lot of VIPs and ATA doing really well. Up and out. And not just hopping around to different things, definitely always playing the technical breakouts. That's just what we're involved in. In the top left, you see Dogecoin. It's currently in a triangulation. If it decides to break out from that, it'll achieve the top of its, essentially its own channel, its lateral channel that Bitcoin is in the process of breaking out of. We're looking at, I want to take a quick look on the bottom left, and let's laser into this, because I bet you something's about to happen with Matic. Okay, I'd be real surprised if Matic's not about to make some kind of a move. It's just expressing itself. You can't get into that real spiral movement right there. You see that? Just kind of that coil frame. Let's look at that real quickly. I'll zoom in on that because that's not all the time that you get to see something that coiled. You see that? That's a nice expression of just absolutely a wind-up, huh? We'll get the pitch in a minute, but that looks like it should be at least kind of a wind-up. Very technically kind of inclined. Those don't form all the time. If they form, just so that you know, if you see one of those form, and I always try and draw these, not easy to draw, but if you ever see kind of a coil, something coil up like that, let me, where's my scuba mask? The polyline is a scuba mask. If you ever see one of these form and it's forming up like this, kind of in this direction, like that, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter, like that, if you see one form like that, it's typically, those really like to compress, coil up, and just launch to the upside. A little bit differently. It's not a perfect expression. We'll probably go to the candles on that, and that's fine. That fits well within the framework of kind of a bull pennant. So we would hope that Matic, for you guys that are in Matic, has just been a phenomenal investment for a lot of people. A lot of money's been made. See, Voyager just started carrying Matic, allowing people to trade in Matic. That's nice. So we'd like to see a technical expression of the bull pennant up to, and maybe surpassing $1.58 from the current $1.45. That would be very nice. That expression, this move could yield in around 7.9%, about 8%, just shy of 8%. So that would be nice to see, and that would just essentially that would give us a technical conformance to the pricing behavior of Matic. So that would be nice. We hope that you guys have done well in your recent Matic trades, because we have provided some pricing targets. And, the market maker has been, we have so many pricing targets on Matic. It's like, do we want to give like 50 levels? That's about how heavily we've been accumulating it. So people have been, it's like if it drops another like 3%, essentially at some point, people are like, well, we bought more. It's like it went down 3%, it did. So we bought more. So, that's essentially, we've got kind of some of that programmed up. This has been a phenomenal investment, guys. It's been something Mark Cuban is involved in. And I'd say, he's been involved in kind of the media story. So that's been really nice to learn about Matic and what it's kind of capable of. Alpha's breaking out of its flag, so that you guys know that. Again, just and it may be close. We'll raise that just a touch. Let's see here. Let's see, Alpha with a potential move, and we just run through some different trades, and I do this because what will I say? It's nice to be able to bring this idea to people in terms of scheduling up potentially multiple trades that you guys can take advantage of, right? That's a nice idea that you guys can work different trades at different times. Like ATA, it looks like it's just going to blister the field again today. All right, it's up 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%. Do you have a position? I brought that last night to the group, to the VIP, and it's just it's nice. So you guys get together on the exchanges. You guys get together on Hitman. What's up, Hitman? Nice to see you. Sheeb has limitations in terms of where it can be traded. Let me get a sip of coffee real quick. I'm gonna turn a little bit of music on. We'll go through Sheeb and some other coins. Let's go live on Doge just for a second and look at a pretty nice chart. That looks like a pretty nice chart. Looks like it's trying to break out right now. So that's nice if it can reconfirm right along that line. Looks like it's trying to. You guys see that? Looks like Doge is trying to, it's broken out, it's trying to reconfirm. If it can reconfirm and go to the upside, I'll be so excited. Just to see a pattern formation work out, that would be great. Emprise, what's up? Emprise, getting off work. Nice to see you. I'm going to turn some music on so you guys can relax for a second. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. You guys enjoy yourself for just a second. And I appreciate you giving me just a breather here. Let me get a little bit of not classical. We want some fun music, something kind of fun. Let me make sure you guys have some decent music and tunes on as we watch Dogecoin break out and hopefully do well. Let's see what we got. I don't know about that. Let me do some different music down here. There we go, some smooth music. Hey, you guys, we got to make money tonight, huh? What's up? Yeah, that's right. You don't worry about it, huh? We've already made some money today. We'll make some money tonight. All right, how about that? We made money today. You guys getting off work and everything else. You showing up. What's the goal tonight? Well, we're going to make some money tonight. All right? Let me have some coffee real quickly. I'll be right back with you. All right, I am back. I appreciate the break. Just need a little bit of coffee. So we have the tunes going. It's nice to have some music going for a second. You guys, we are looking at kind of a pennant formation, something for Dogecoin. It did not want to break out and confirm and move to the upside. That's okay. Let me look at the chat and see what you guys are up to and see who all is in the house. We appreciate you being here. It is a good day, guys. Everybody's in the money a little bit. We're working on a bull pennant for this is for Dogecoin. So that'd be a nice bull pennant to complete. I believe that would be beautiful. A lot of people have holdings in Dogecoin. Not sure how big or small. It doesn't really matter. If you guys are playing the game at all, it's a beautiful thing to be playing the market. We welcome you to the crypto kingdom. I'm London, and we're going to go through some differentials today. We have to, because the market essentially is going to require us to. The movement of the market right now is it's not coordinated in that it's programmed, but it's definitely situated to where the correlations or the confluent or the what would you say? Confluent is a word I think you can understand. The parallel, right? The movements at the same time. Those things that move in tandem or in, say, the right direction. When it's going in the right direction, the left direction is going to go the left direction. Up is up and down is down, right, at the same time. If something moves up and down, it's going to be negatively correlated. So we want to look at those correlatives right now and see whether or not we can try and maximize our profits. If we can come up with any ideas, not just necessarily on Doge. We have positions in Doge we've been accumulating heavily. I'd say trading heavily. People have been trading heavily. Maybe that's the best way to put our most recent activity in Doge is like we've been trading very heavily. So nothing wrong with that. It's been a nice dynamic to experience. So I have some different indicators on here. You may not know what the indicators are. I have put on the what would I say on the map here? I put on RSI onto the map. Okay, so we have kind of a visual explanation of RSI, and I wanted to put that on the map because I wanted you to essentially have kind of a visual of what the RSI is, because you always have it below, right? Below we always have the RSI. And I wanted you to see kind of a visual representation of what the RSI looks like if we were to get an indication of the RSI on kind of on the right now we're on the 3 minutes, so it may not do a lot for us. Let's go to the hour. I think you'll find this very interesting. All right, so we have the RSI visualized essentially here on the map here, guys. So let's look at, like, if you're looking at the RSI. We're looking at the RSI in this kind of in this colored zone here below. I wanted to do this because it's not often that we see the RSI actually on the chart as well, so that we can essentially understand what has to occur with our interaction with the RSI before we move. But I think this is very I'd say what would you say? It can be instructional. Somewhat, but it can just add to our learning in terms of how does the price interact with the RSI, relative strength index. What is it? So if you look at the coloration here, you'll see that the price really has to dig down at points in time. It digs down into the RSI, right? It'll really dig deeply down into the RSI and really become kind of entrenched in the RSI. Then we'll get kind of this launch effect. We'll get this kind of coil springboard effect. It'll go and carve deeply down into the RSI, and at some point it'll reach its threshold and it'll decide just to kind of launch back up. As you look at the graph on the bottom, that's when it gets below the 30, okay? But as we look at it graphically, okay, on the actual chart, we're looking at essentially the interoperability or the what would you say, the interaction between the price and the RSI. And it's just interesting, I think, to look at it literally just carve into the RSI, and then this springboard effect, right? And this is when you would want to be scaling in. This is very interesting. If you were to start scaling in around this area and scaling in and scaling in and scaling in, around this area kind of heavily in here, you could see that once you had really scaled in and continued to scale in, guys, it doesn't look like the RSI really disappoints. And then what happens? Well, then it's just going to launch you back up to the upside. Everything that you've been able to scale in, okay, heavier, as the price goes down, guys, we always deploy additional orders, right? So that's going to be an opportunity for you to continue to more heavily scale in. And then what? Well, then you get your positive trade out of it, right? So that's another kind of way for us to, demonstrate what the RSI is, or at least the interaction between the RSI and the price. Here, it's like we're waiting for the RSI to become involved. But essentially, again, we see it digging in, okay, of the price into the RSI. It's not much, but then once it just, kind of touches it at all, we've probably been scaling in the entirety of this time. We see it, kind of a move to the upside as well. So this is kind of the same idea. It's going to come in contact with the relative strength index, kind of the representation of that. What'd you say? The visual representation of that on the chart. And then we're going to move to the upside. So that's nice. That's a nice indicator. I wanted to bring that to you guys. You guys are very technical, so I wanted to say, hey, this is an actual visual representation of that. You can see here as we look at the price again coming in contact with the RSI. This is about the 30 level. Okay, when it gets in contact with that's going to be representative by it reaching the level of 30. Okay. Which is oversold, essentially. So we're going to get into every time it contacts is going to be at 30. But sometimes it really likes to dig in multiple times. And if you look at the actual RSI on this situation, it's like it dug down to 30 and really got down and really got below the 30. This is just a visual representation of kind of how price interacts with the RSI. I think it's a nice representation. I wanted to share that with you guys as you guys are looking at, not just a separate, because when we have to look away from things, we look away from the actual price. We're not always, we're constantly looking back and forth. We're looking to, well, this is the RSI, then this is the price. The RSI, then the price. So to see it on one level of interaction is nice. I think it's nice for us to kind of view things that way for a minute. I wanted to kind of go over that so that we could, kind of understand what is going on now. I wanted to bring up the fact someone had asked me, like, well, how do we really interact with the price targets, right? yeah, how do we interact with price targets? I was going to go over that information today at the beginning of the stream. I did not do that, and I want to apologize. Mitch the Money Man, what's up, brother? I told you I was going to do that starting, and I just remembered that I did not really necessarily do that. So, yeah, I wanted to apologize for that, and yeah, I will definitely do that. I may even do that in a private little short phone call, something like that. Make sure we got that cleared up to bridge that divide in terms of the pricing targets. It's really easy stuff. You know, we just look at essentially, you know, we look at levels of entry. It's real simple. We look at, you know, Doge. We just look at levels of entry. We look at like kind of the golden pocket here, the 61.8. All of these levels are just real simple to come up with, guys. It's pre-calculated for us in TradingView. So we use those levels, right? Yeah, it's no problem. And yeah, we're constantly accumulating as the price goes down, even further past the golden pocket, and then we expect a move to the upside. There's a constant flux in the pricing of anything, guys. It's the nature of a market. The prices go up, the prices go down. So when they go up and down, we want to be there to profit, and we do that by setting our pricing targets. Really simple stuff. Not necessarily, though, actually, to tell you the truth. I don't think it's very straightforward. I mean, it's really easy to go ahead and click a button and draw something, but it's not necessarily straightforward. It's not something you should have studied or something you necessarily would know. I mean, I think it's kind of a mystery to people in terms of a pricing target. It requires a lot of discipline that maybe people don't have, right? You know, the wisdom of the market it escapes a lot of people, and it takes discipline and focus. And I recognize it's not easy. So I want you guys to know that. I recognize it's not intuitive. I recognize it's not easy, but we can do it, and we're doing it. We can come up with pricing targets, and we have a group of people that are doing well on them. You understand, like doubling and tripling down at different levels to cover your upside exposure at all times. Right, so we have a pretty cool group. I'm just gonna say that pretty awesome group, and it's small. It's small on purpose, guys. It's just it is what it is. You know, we could probably. What do you guys think if we went to a business school and started advertising around it for different traders and different day traders? I could probably throw together, you know, probably. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's go hit all the business school campuses, huh? Yeah, we'd probably have. Yeah, we have 2,000 new members, guys. Just to let you know, right? We could definitely do that. But you know, whoever generically kind of comes in here, we just kind of have a faith and belief system. It's the right group, so that's nice for us to experience. It's heavy information. It's not the light. Kind of the lighter side of the market. It's not. It's the heavier geared information to where I want to see people flourish and turn into, you know, to achieve their dreams in terms of if they want to be a millionaire, if they want to spend more time with their family, things like that. I want that to occur, and not just because Dogecoin is going to go up to $1 or because you know, if it goes up to $1. That's great, but if it goes back and forth between 80 cents and 40 cents 3 times in between that, and you can, you know, you could have walked away with $1 million. You only walked away with 200,000. That's okay. You still did great. Well, I don't know. That's an opportunity for you guys to make life-changing money. If you can make life-changing money, if something like that does occur, guys, it's already occurred. You just had a 10x right here, which was kind of, you know, which was an important amount of money, an important swing in terms of the volatility. And yeah, that's just that's where we come in. We want to be able to, you know, we want to be able to bridge that divide in the market where maybe I don't know, the know-how is not there. But it's right here, and it's right in the books that we can recommend and different stuff like that. And it doesn't require like learning like that. You're like, oh, I've done enough school. Yeah, me too, right? But it's nice to have a reference material. If everyone's speaking a different language, you know, I definitely want to pick up a dictionary, right? I'm in a foreign place. I want to be able, like, I want to be able to survive, right? Maybe I'll pick up a dictionary, right? It's not much different. If you want to do well in the market, you're probably going to want to, you know, pick up a dictionary, pick up something that's like real relevant beyond just like, you know, Google or you know, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna. It's just a lot of these are advanced, you know, techniques, and when you're dealing with your own money, I just say when you're dealing with your own money, I would like to personally make sure that like what I'm studying and what I'm being told is accurate, right? So I'm kind of interested right now in Bitcoin and whether or not it's going to fail its. Let's see whether or not it's going to fail. I just am interested. Looks like we're getting a little play action on ATA. It looks like it's trying to break out of the line that I did draw, and it's trying to kind of reset itself and move to the upside. That's an interesting move, huh? It's in terms of why that did choose to play out like that. That may remain a mystery, but that's if it can, that'd be great. If it can, that'd be great for ATA. A lot of people involved in ATA just maybe at a light level enjoying that trade. Nothing wrong with that. As we look at let's see. As we look at, we wanted to go to Bitcoin. Let me sort real quickly through, and I just want to go through the market movers, kind of the market, the big timers. Sheeb's still doing well. Sheeb doing well. XCH, NMR, Numer. That's nice to see. I like it. Numer. That's a hedge fund currency. I like hedge funds. ANKR. What do we got? Okay, let's go back through. And find our Doge. We got right there. I just want to find the order that we're in. Matic. Definitely want to look at Matic again. Touch base again with Matic. See what kind of formation we have decided. That's the top right currently. So, yeah, that's no surprise. Just finding its formation. Just still consolidating. No pattern that you draw on a 3-minute time frame is going to be right or wrong. To tell you the truth, they'll conform to a degree. They'll be different than the 5-minute, 10-minute, or whatever other time frame that you come up with. So always have a degree of patience with yourself and with the different time frames. Understand you need to redraw your Fibonacci's if you're on a different time frame. It won't make a lot of intuitive sense, but it will be something that it will be necessary. So that's not ideal. It's not an ideal circumstance. You would like to have more. What would you say? Just kind of reliance on things, right? That would be. You'd like to have some more reliance on things. So up and out. We'll go ahead and put that alert right there. So that's on Matic. It's moved well. You guys are probably well within. You're doing well. You're making money on that. So that's nice to see that kind of movement right there. And just is an expression within the overall, kind of constricting wedge pattern that you have developed. Now, have you broken out, or is this just another kind of, it's close. It is close. It can frustrate. Clearly, it can frustrate. But for Matic to kind of express itself like that, it could be a decent move. We haven't talked about this kind of narrowing wedge or this constricting wedge on Matic that it's gotten into. And I just bring that up because it's technically indicated. And what I would say is that if this breakout is not necessarily inconsistent, right? It's not necessarily inconsistent with what Matic has done, because Matic has had, big, let's look at this real quickly, guys. When I say it's not inconsistent, look at the other phenomenal kind of trajectory or kind of breakout that we had here, right? This was definitely something that was very interesting, wasn't it? We were a part of this, I believe. This was the one that happened that preceded. This is the one that I looked at before I said I brought it to you because of the nature of this. I was like, this is really interesting. This is when I saw this, and then we were kind of stuck in around 78 cents. I was like, no, this wants to move some more. And it's these long kind of deliberate moves where there is kind of a breakout, little frustration. And then there was a great degree of interest from a financial position was kind of, and attention to Matic was kind of indicated, which is why I brought it to the group. It's just based on the technicals, there was a great degree of financial interest, I would say, in terms of eyes that were on it and investors that were looking at it. Just oddly enough, I'm not sure if maybe the word got out that maybe Mark Cuban's involved in this one, or he likes this, maybe word got out on the street, but there was just a big. Yeah, it was exciting because that's kind of like you can almost imply something like that because it had that kind of like long technical kind of conformance and formation to it, and it was it was just a lot of fun, guys. So looking at this long kind of technical formation here, I don't think it's inconsistent with the entirety of Matic that we would be looking at this. If it wants to technically, this is important. If it wants to technically behave, you could be looking at a move of like 50% on it to the upside. So that would be exciting. That would be pretty exciting. I'm going to go ahead and just mark that, and apologize for the blank or the white screen, but I have to make sure that we get that picture taken. So we could probably just do a print screen. Let's see what else we have. So we've looked at Matic, potential move to the upside of 50%. I went ahead and told the VIPs last night, I said, well, if Bitcoin moves up, we can expect what? I did. I sent you guys that deal. I said, if Bitcoin moves up, we can expect a move in Dogecoin, in which we've gotten, in Matic, which we've gotten, and then in Tfuel, right? And I said, well, we could, essentially at some point do a 2x, right, on Tfuel. So I brought that to you guys. That could happen at any point in time. In terms of the timing, it doesn't have to happen like right when, I'd say that to qualify, it doesn't have to happen when Bitcoin were to just move up, right? It's not indicated immediately, and I made that very clear. I just want to make sure you guys get the information, just, copy back to me, et cetera, because it's just a lot of unknowns. I'm not sure people, maybe they lose interest a little bit. You guys lose a little bit of interest, but when I see a really, well-performing coin like Tfuel, I want to make sure you guys are able to get in on it, and maybe not everyone was around for Matic, but I want to make sure, you guys have a link there in the top pinned tweet. One is to join VIP level. We have people joining every day. That gives you the backdoor access, pricing targets, exclusive charts. Guys, I'm certified in markets from Duke University. Okay, I've been over, lead analyst over $1 billion equity fund, okay, just in charge of the entirety of the investment package, guys, and all the figures, everything else. I've worked directly with CEOs. I've done like corporate shareholder reports, etc. I've just had to be extremely, extremely accurate, okay, like diligence. People say due diligence. I don't like to hear that word. They say, well, I like it because, I'm pretty good at it. So, yeah, it's not the typical, and maybe that's good. Maybe that's maybe that's lacking in kind of a real connection with the people. I just don't think we lack that at all. It's just the type of people that we're trying to attract, or the type of people who definitely understand that the market is not just intuitive. Right, it requires a little bit of extra work. It requires a little bit of, I'd say, a teamwork, kind of a team mentality. Definitely like Doge Army. I like that. That's fine. I don't like to I don't know. I don't like to abandon. I don't like to become emotional when I say that. So I don't like, as much as I like the memes, everything else. Actually, you can laugh. It's not that I don't like to laugh, but I don't necessarily like all the time to be in a position where I feel overly committed ideologically to something that may ruin or could cause a hit to the pocketbook. Right? That's never a good idea in terms of where I'm headed with things. So we look at Tfuel, and Tfuel has a great dynamic to it in terms of the, and I just a disclosure, I do own some Tfuel, so I wouldn't ask how much or when I acquired it, but I just think it's kind of indicated right now to maybe bring to the attention of some other people, as it has performed well, right? An intermittent kind of recent all-time high. Right? Is it recent or, I'll look up at another screen. Definitely bring up if we can in terms of the exact pricing information on that. But it's been strong amidst, I'll say it's been very strong amidst a retracement. Okay, so when you see, things just continuing to build, higher highs like this, and continuing to express resilience, this is the type of thing that we would look to as I would look to bring the group to where they could experience a positive price action. Now, does it mean it's just going to go up? Not at all. What are all these green lines I have right here? These are all levels of pricing entry, right? They're all entry spots, believe it or not. All of those green lines right there are all orders. Okay, those are all different levels of orders that I have set up that the VIPs are going to get, that they know how to do it, but I'll definitely give it to them. And how do we deploy them? We deploy cash heavier, I'd say double or triple down at each level. All right, so that I'm geared towards it trying to retrace down here. Now I have a current position here, right? But I'm ready with additional like heavyweight cash. Even as much as I like it right now, it's moving really well. I'm ready with additional heavy cash at the lower levels. That's where the big trades are going to be made, at the lower levels. Okay, as this decides to retrace, if it does, if it gets into a nice, I'd say, technical formation, can what would you say, could the amount invested, that's always going to be up to you guys, how much you want to invest and when, where, and why. But I'll tell you that I don't like to hear about people using their reserve cash at higher levels. This is a higher level. You just met an interim high here, right? You just met that. So putting all your chips on one hand of cards is kind of like, wow. I wouldn't do that, because I like you guys and I want you to be around in the market, right? That's pretty cool. It's just the truth. You guys are a good group, and I want you to be around for a while, right? So it doesn't make too much sense for us just to say, well, on this one, let's just put everything in. No, we don't want that at all. We lose some cool people when they become over involved at higher levels, and sometimes they show up like that. Like, you know, I miss some cool people. They're not around this and that, but they're down on their money. And you joining VIP or being a VIP member is not going to change that. If you're down on money, you're down on money. We're not going to control the market, right? We'll give you different investment ideas along with the ideas you bring to the table. But when you're clench-fisted on something and there ain't no diamond, right? That's the deal. It's like you're clench-fisted on the moves there and holding on to something that used to be worth 5 times as much. And it's like, well, man, I just, and you're still convinced it's undervalued, and you don't have more cash to deploy to make up the money on the asset. That's the deal. It doesn't matter if you own it at 5 times what it's worth right now. Do you have 5 to 10 times that amount of money that you originally invested? Throw in at another level below at a level of support to make some cash on the deal. If not, that's no fun, right? That just means you went out and you bought something too high. There's no glory in that. We've all done it, or we haven't sold at the right time, so there's no shame in it either, right? It's a part of the market, right? The market makers and everything else, they're real good at promoting their product. That's what they're doing. They're promoting their product to you. So they got you, huh? And it's okay. They get everybody. That's at one point or another, that's their goal. They try and get everybody. We don't want them to get us. That's just it. We always have reserve cash at the lower levels. So let's go back in through, and it looks like we just got kind of a waiting game here. BTC Euro. I got the Euro and the USD on here. So what do we have? It's trying to form some sort of a flag formation. That's, I think, a positive move for it. I do want to bring up the fact that last time it kind of did this at this level. You guys just pay attention because it can go anywhere. Right? It's kind of a market leader, so we pay attention to it, definitely. But in terms of what's happened previously at this exact level, I'll get rid of the inverse head and shoulders. Get done with this flag. That worked out well, worked out nicely. Now, the last time we were at this level and we formulated some sort of a flag, we failed it, right? We did. We failed it, and we went down. So we just had this circumstance at this level. It's not to say it's definitely going to happen now. It's just a prior indicator is going to let us know that we just went through this. All right, I talked about the different levels of probability on the upside, right? Maybe a zone once we're past all of, and I've moved it around, but once we're past all of the different levels of potential, the previous different levels of resistance, okay? We're in a channel, right? We are in a sideways kind of channel, okay? There's a period frequency of pricing, periodic frequency of the pricing at different time intervals that we have definitely fallen into. So the last time we were at this exact level, we fell down. What is the nature of what is the nature of a bearish trend? It's just very hard to conquer things and move back to the upside. So we have not hit our golden pocket yet. Our golden pocket is down below on Bitcoin. That may mean, and just listen, that may mean that we have more to move to the downside in both the alts and Bitcoin. If we do, I'm just going to say this, that may be an unpopular opinion, but just listen, just hear me out. If we do, are you prepared with additional cash to move to essentially to deploy at different levels of support, okay? At the 786, are you prepared at 13,000? Can you handle 13,000? Do you have heavier weight cash to throw in at that level, right? 13, I do. Do you have at 24,698? Huh? Do you have additional cash to throw in at that level? I do. I do. I reserve cash for the lower levels. Not that I'm not involved. Okay, I am involved right now. Okay. Transfer some Bitcoin to a different exchange today. So that's not a problem in terms of involvement right now. The question is, do I have additional, right? Do I have additional kind of backup for my backup, right? Because the big guys do. I tell you, the big guys do. Doesn't matter your level of investment, right? Let me see, 22,629. What is it? 22,629. Okay, 22,629. When I draw a line anywhere, I just want it to be kind of perfect. 24,698. 24,698. That's going to be your golden pocket, okay? So that's going to be your golden pocket, and you don't have to necessarily have all of these perfected, but nonetheless, I like them to be, when we hit an exact number, I like it to be as calculatively accurate as possible. Okay, so how do I do that? I literally go in and I literally, I'll pre-calculate it, and I will just make sure that, like, I know for a fact 13,836. 13,836 is exactly going to be that 78.6. So 13,836 is that on the hourly. So that's not a conjecture. Now I will go back and exactly input the precise, right, the precise all-time high and calculate that exactly to where there would be no question as to whether or not my information were accurate or not. Okay, so then it's not conjecture. There's no wiggle room. No, it's exactly calculated. Right, the Fibonacci's are exactly calculated. So that's the level of work that I would do, that I enjoy doing. Right, is being accurate to that degree, not just kind of a chop shop and one size fits all. And well, let's go Google the rest of this and let's figure out what everybody needs to go short for the night. That's not what we do. We express some more diligence and just kind of level of appreciation for the art of the trade. Right, we have to. It's just we like it that much. We're going to keep doing that. So, and we've done that for a while. Let me take a look at the charts here. Ritesh Katia is in the house. How are you, brother? Nice to see you. David Sweet, doing well. Mr. Mars, you're finally freed up. Good. We have a lot of busy people, huh? A lot of busy people. That's okay. That's okay. I'm glad that you guys are around. And that's really nice. So people are anticipating this explosion, right? This huge move to the upside, and so that can definitely happen. If it does, that's great. A lot of people have gone on the line with this in terms of Bitcoin. I just want to be on the map that we've been at this level before and we've moved down. Right? That's okay. That's okay. That if people want to say now we're moving up, no problem. I don't have a problem with either it going up or going down, but I'm not emotional about it. I'm going to say the probability is we're in the midst of a major retracement. We haven't hit the golden pocket. I'd like to hit the golden pocket. I'd say that because it's a key ratio. That's just a fact. The golden ratio, that 61.8 to the 65th percentile. That just is the golden ratio. So, yeah, definitely want to hit that if we can. So, yeah, that's the bottom line. Let's see what we got here. Mars in the house. Yeah, I'm just kind of reading through what other people are trying to coach you guys with. It's some serious stuff, right? I don't want my VIPs getting. You guys don't want me to. We don't want our host. We don't want our host to be affected by these people. We don't want that. So there's a lot of different personalities in the mix. Some of those personalities, they're just that. They're a personality. We like to at least combine some real world. I always say some real world technique and results to things. So yeah, I'll put returns up against anybody. I'm not worried about that ever. They're not going to beat me. Exactly why I've just let my buy orders sit. If they hit, I'm pumped, but I don't believe it'll 10x Doge until it hits 10 to 20. There you go. Else it's going to work its way out till then. Not bad, NFA. Nice, Mars. Not bad. Everything was moving today, so anyone with a play should have made some money. Yeah, absolutely. And it pays to play the game today on days like today, and it pays to be conservative until days like today and still be involved. So that's nice. It's nice to have some reserve cash. And the guys who understand the game, like you guys, you just understand that we enjoy the market, right? We stay actively involved in it, even when it's not just raging, right? And when it rages, that's when people who have been around and stick together and keep it focused mentally. That's when they're gonna make their millions of dollars potentially, right? So it's worth that level of what'd you say? It's worth that level of patience. It just is. It's not a this week thing. It's not a this day thing. It's not a next month for sure. Then okay, well no, it's probably something like the next 6 to 12 months, next 18 months. Yeah, I mean if we could if we sat down and put a business together, right? If we sat down and put a business together and say, okay guys, listen. I've got this in play. Say we've got a briefcase full of investment funds on the table, right? And I'm going to unlock that sucker and shine it up. Wow, that's this is we got whatever it's in. We got paperwork for this is $5 million in funding, guys. $5 million in funding. We're going to be able to put something together. Now it's going to take about 18 months, 24 months for this thing to pay off. I want you guys to know that it's going to be some sweat equity in the meantime. But look, here's some good returns that people have gotten along the way. That's kind of here's some reference letters from almost guys in terms of repeatability. Here's some reference letters for some other people that have been involved in the business, and they're going to talk about what all they've been able to do in the business. Now we can't guarantee the results, right? Not at all, right? And but based upon those reference letters, we got the $5 million in here in terms of funding. We're going to go ahead and do that. If I sat down with you guys and we formulated a business like that, you'd be well. This is great. Look at the other people; they've made money doing the same thing. Well, now we have $5 million in funding, and that $5 million would just be an idea of in terms of like, okay, well, we're expecting as a group, we would expect as a group to make some money. That's a really good idea. We've got some some different ideas of capital to throw in, et cetera. With the multiplicity effect, you can get into wherever you're at and adjust that figure. Maybe we have a smaller business. We got 10,000. All right, in the briefcase, we're going to put together something, and we would expect in the next 18 months for it to kind of, if we really work hard, it's going to work out. That I don't think that example is altogether, too fanciful. It's just we have had people that have done very well in the market, right? You guys are very sophisticated. You understand like a business opportunity when you see one, an investment opportunity when you see one. But it's just the diligence that would be required is like we got $5 million in the briefcase. Whatever the payout would be over time, you guys can calculate that. You figure out, for yourselves kind of that investment mindset for yourself. But maybe look at, I just say kind of look at the entirety of your involvement as if we're kind of at a boardroom at a table, this and that, and say, okay, well, this is not just this. Oh, this is not just this week. Okay, not just this month, or maybe even this year. This is something that could have a little bit longer of a potential in terms of the price cycles. Right, a regeneration of the price cycle. The cyclical pricing event that occurs as we look at, and no one necessarily wants to hear that. That's why I put that in the context of, and let me go through the yearly, year to date, to put this in the context of like this pricing cycle. A lot of money was made in between pricing cycles. What pricing cycle? What's a pricing cycle? All right. Well, there's some pricing cycles there. Let's go ahead and look. If I do the 1 year, maybe that'll be a little better. Maybe this will work a little better. Okay. There we go. See a pricing cycle? That's a pricing cycle. When it collapsed, people were able to wait and hold. This was 2018. And then they experienced another pricing cycle. People made a great amount of money between, or let's say between, if we were to look at periodically, from a period to period, right here to right here, people made, who executed strategy, made good money, right? Then we had kind of the conclusion in here, right? Then we have another pricing cycle, okay? So as this continues to develop, this is kind of like the third recent pricing cycle, and we're going to anticipate between now and the next pricing cycle, there's going to be a lot of money made, right? So there's no reason we can't sit, around and really have kind of a real interaction amongst us, as if we were to get involved mentally with this. Okay, it's more of a business opportunity for you. If I come across like it's one collectively for us, and we all it's nothing we all invest in. We invest in each other and in the team dynamic and understanding that we have a common we have a shared understanding that amidst these pricing cycles, okay, that a lot of money is made. Okay, a lot of volatility occurs, a lot of money is made. On Bitcoin, yes, this is the Bitcoin chart. On the entirety of the altcoins, you betcha, right? So it's just, it has presented this 1, 2, now it's working into the third time. It doesn't mean it'll go back down into this level, okay? But we're prepared for it too. I keep saying we're prepared for it too, and I'll just tell you, I've been saying that with cash heavyweight on the downside, double and tripling down, and you have to give it to me, guys, because I've been saying that since before the peak, but around this area in the peak, to prepare people with heavyweight cash, heavier weight cash towards this area. With what? With heavier amounts of cash at this area. With heavier amounts of cash at this area. So that's just the structuring that I put together mentally. So in terms of, we just disagree with, I don't think anyone can disagree with from the peak talking about having reserve cash when it went down 50%. I mean, put me at the table with those guys. I'll sit at the table with those guys, right? In terms of business deal or otherwise, I probably want to talk to those guys. They were saying that then. Yeah, that's nice. It beats the other people. Buy. We got to buy this thing, right? So I don't have a whole lot of regard maybe for the people who were just really pushing this heavily during that time. I have a lot of high regard for Elon, who cranked down a lot of cash to buy it, yes, on behalf of Tesla, and to test the liquidity, decided just let's go ahead and hit that warp drive, and bam, there you guys go. How did that feel? He's the market maker on this deal. He's the mover. He's the guy. He's the king of crypto, right? Period. He just is. So he gets that title. He's earned it. It's nice to watch him work in it. I appreciate the fact that he's as involved. Excuse me. And he has, he's really not, what would you say? He's just not real concerned with what everybody else thinks of him, is he? Nah, he's kind of past all that, huh? It's not a popularity contest. So I think he's going to do just fine. He probably has a good list of advisors or some good people handling his finances. So it's fun. So as we look at this, we don't necessarily want to see this just break down, but it could just as easily be into a flag formation. We'll go from the 30-minute down to the 3-minute. I just want to keep everybody in touch with kind of Bitcoin and where it's at. These different levels of, I'd say the different levels of, let me get on here, of resistance that we're running into are not necessarily, they're not going to necessarily be kind to the potential that we have finally broken out. We're moving to the upside. The more that you keep this into a triangulated like fixation of forgetting the fact, this is the problem. People don't recall the fact that any triangulation that we're into amidst a retracement is what? Is bearish. It's a continuation pattern. However you slice it or dice it, it's still a continuation pattern. A channel formation that we would feed into. Just textbook, guys. I'll never ever apologize for saying any of this because it's just the truth. It's accurate information. If you were to answer this on a quiz or a test or write a thesis at Harvard Business School, this would be the correct answer. You can make all different kinds of justifications as to why it would change. It's not going to change in the near future. The answer to this question is not going to change. Okay? I'd say an accurate, what would we say? Just description of where we're at is going to include the fact that we're amidst a retracement and we would expect this to continue to the downside. It's while everyone's talking about it going to explode, if it does choose to do that, beautiful. I would love it because we're going to make a lot of cash just immediately and effortlessly, and people who've been lazy on trading may be rewarded for that because whatever holdings they have or we have, et cetera, whatever exposure we do have right now, I'll tell you, it'll go up and people will be happier about that. What we won't get is the opportunity, believe it or not, we won't get the patient, I'd say the reward of patience and diligence to get lower prices. They say, well, maybe we all own it from an area in and along, and this is the only argument against. Well, you have to say we own this at 19,000. We own this from 10. We own Bitcoin at 10,000. All right, and we're going to tell you, okay, great. So you own it, and you're that smart, and you held it up through 64,000, and you let it decrease 50% in value. Well, all right. Well, I gotta look into that. I gotta look into holding it and having the value decrease 50%. I think I'd rather probably hit a pricing target with more capital from my reserves. In fact, I'm almost positive. Yeah, that's what I'm going to choose instead of watching, pretty much a portion of my reserves just completely dwindle down to 50%. So, and I'll just say this is all strategically educational. How about that? It's strategically educational. It's not financial advice. Never will be. So as we look at kind of the day that it has been, it's been a nice day. We've had good positive price action from Bitcoin. That's beautiful. I have set up kind of alarm bells here for different levels of my potential involvement if it wants to break through. Will it be right here that I become involved and risk my capital? No, it just won't. I liked what Andrew said real quickly. He said in the chat, he said, he's like, no, that's not, that is not, yeah, he said he cut it loose. I'm like, that's, very smart guy, pro. I mean, he just feels like a pro trader. He's a great guy. I'd be interested to know, excuse me, how Angel, how'd you trade this? I'd like to know how you traded this today. If you chose to trade it, maybe you're holding. Angel's got some real strong sentiments in the market. I love his instincts are phenomenal, and he has an instinct to be involved in people who are trading too. So he likes people who trade, and he has instincts of like he's gonna. But I think he's taken some great profits. He's bought low and he sold high, so he understands like you got to be around some people who are trading, willing to sell something. I think he's in some sort of a store. He's got a store, so it's nice to see. So he's very familiar with buying and selling things. Like that's what he does all the time. So it would work against the grain, very much so if he weren't able to express that in his choice. It's nice to have you. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. Absolutely, and you as well, Andrew, and everybody else definitely in the group. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. Yao Nation. Yao Nation, what's going on, brother? Nice to have you in and around. You've been around since Harmony One days. That's nice. You've seen things change a little bit, huh? I've been thinking about Harmony One a lot lately. I hope you guys are doing really well. I've been thinking about, kind of what a big push it was because we were involved up through the entirety of, boy, we were around the top of that, weren't we? Wow. That was quite an event. Nice to have you around, brother. I wish you would stop by if you are able to. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. If you're able to scan the barcode on the bottom left, that'll take you to our Twitter, and that would be great to definitely have that information from you. So whatever you would like to give to us, just DM me, do something like that. I got like 3 things going on right now. Karma Coin. You want to see Karma Coin? I don't think that's on TradingView. Let me see if it is on TradingView. But no, it is not on TradingView. So that's going to represent a little bit of a difficulty. Let me see if I can bring it up. I know how to bring it up clearly, but I do want to see if I can bring it up on a different platform that I have that allows for technical analysis. So give me 2 seconds. It's not on Gate either. What exchange are you buying that with? I would just be interested to know because you have, and let me see if this is what pair this is. Yeah, I want to get on something where I can draw a Fibonacci on it to be able to intelligently kind of discuss it with you. I can ballpark it definitely and kind of give you an idea of where it is at. It looks like it's holding currently. We can talk about the fundamentals of it, but you're in a position where, let me go ahead and do this. I'll do a liquidity check on it. Is that good? Let's do a liquidity check first of all. Yeah, it's not even on Good Crypto. So it doesn't come up under Good Crypto. Good Crypto has, a great liquidity checker. So if I'm looking at, if I look up Fetch AI, it'll bring up all of the exchanges that it's on. So if it's not coming up at all on Good Crypto, it's just it looks like it's kind of off that radar all the way to where it's not really there. So I do have it over on Live Coin Watch. So it's been in the last 7 days, it's up 74%. That's nice. But it's not anything that I would want to really get involved in. If there's any risk that I couldn't really get involved in, I know it's based on a Binance chain, right? Coin. The current price is super low and probably has, I'm not sure that it would ever completely disappear. Let me see what else you've got to say just briefly. It's also CoinGecko. It's on CoinGecko. Yeah, that's right. The price is, right? Their first exchange on Hotbit. They just got their first exchange on Hotbit. Okay, good. Let me see. Legal charity coin. There's a few of those. Few charity coins. 25K to Autism Speaks. Okay, well, Sheeb just gave $1 billion to Ethereum. Just gave $1 billion to India, didn't they? They did. Yeah, $1 billion. That was pretty interesting, huh? Let's see what we got. Thanks for the shout out. Yeah, it's nice to have you. Go ahead and go to Twitter. Be happy to discuss all this stuff. It's just a smaller coin, but you did want to see a little bit of it. It's not on any of the real exchanges I have. You say it's on. It just got listed on Hotbit. Surprised that it doesn't kind of surface up. And let me see this. And let me see. I don't know. It's just, if I can't find it on my exchanges, I can talk about it, but it's just not. It's not really anything I want to get involved in. There's too much. There's too much in the form of like really great stuff. You want my opinion on it? Like I'm looking at it on another screen right now. I can kind of ballpark and tell you, yeah, you hit your golden pocket, right? Yeah, I mean, I can just tell you that from looking at it. You hit your golden pocket. You have sustained that. You haven't gone down to your 78.6. Just so you know, I can't draw the Fibonacci's on whatever it's telling me, but I can tell you that is what has occurred. Okay, you fell through and you hit your first level, your Fibonacci. Your second looks like each of those was a decent move. Probably in the neighborhood of probably 22. And you know, from Harmony One, you can look at it now too, because you spend enough time looking at things. You're like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you've kind of mastered the Fibonacci's. We spend enough time on them, so it's nice to know you're kind of a good kind of a witness, right? But the 23.6, you hit that. As we look at like Bitcoin also did probably the same. So, but maybe you're a little more even consistent, I'd say, than on the first and second levels. So you've had a consistent hit along everything. Although I'd say you look consistent. So good luck with that. I think that's exciting that you guys got what you got. And because I want to really just say I appreciate you being around since the beginning. Let's just look at this. The only thing I'll say is I just don't recommend anything that people can't get in and out of. I just want to make sure people can get out of this. And if I'm worried about people being able to get out of it, it's like on some level, that's kind of like what Elon was worried about with even Bitcoin. So the whole notion, kind of, it rings really true on something like the karma market. I don't know. So as we look at this, it's like I can tell it hit its golden pocket. Maybe it's 78.6 really around this. And now see, the problem is I don't trust this at all. Not at all. You will not believe this. No. Gentlemen. All right. I'm going to show you something right now. No, this is not what we do. We do not do this. Whatever the variability is in here, whatever it is, no, we don't do this. Survey says, why? Because we don't do this. You guys want to see something really nice? Yeah, really nice now. Let's look at and this will not be easy for me to necessarily bring up. I'm looking at another screen right now where this is completely chopped off and completely different on the next Karma price chart that was brought up on my other screen. Just miserable. Absolutely miserable. Complete wrong price chart brought up just by another complete, I'll email that to you. Get on to the Twitter. Let me email you both of those. I'll DM you both of those. That's why I don't mess around with that stuff. 2 different price charts. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Absurd. I appreciate you bringing it up because we just learned something. I always tell you to learn something, but that's not indicative of anything we'd want to be a part of. That's bad, huh? That is bad news. I have 2 of them. I'll send them both to you. So that's not good. We do not want Karma Coin. We do not want different pricing charts. We don't want, misleading? Maybe I have 2 different DNS addresses or whatnot, and it just decided to throw me 2 different pricing charts. You saw one here. I have another dual screen on the right-hand side. It's completely different. No way. Showing a completely different framework and different hits and everything else. No way. No. So, anyway. It's a shame, huh? Because if you believe in it, you got some good stuff going, and you believe in the fundamentals. I'm sorry to hear that. I would maybe look into that. But when I get you the information, if you want to do the diligence on it, maybe you can run forward with that. That'd be a good thing that we brought it up, and you can try and address that with the exchange, etc. How about that? Yeah, is that cool? If you can get to the Twitter, I'll send that to you later. So, just kind of a restructuring back into the framework of something like Bitcoin. We're in this sideways channel. We'll see what wants to happen here. It's been at this level multiple times. It keeps falling down. All right, it's in retracement. If it breaks up, I've got alarm bells the whole way off. This is my sweet spot right in here. I'll predetermine the sweet spot because I think that's the highest probability in terms of where I may want to enter and exit of the entirety of this move right here. Okay, that's what I think right now. Okay, I may have different diagnostics on it. I may share different diagnostics with the VIP level. I just may do that in private. Okay, I may do that behind the scenes because they pay for that information, right? They pay to be a member, right? This is kind of public information, and to the extent that there is a zone here of heavy involvement between me and them, that's me and that's their business and my business. So that's why we have that upper echelon of tier membership. But these alarm bells that go off along the way, these are calculative based on risk dynamics and entry and exit probability of success. That's just it. So heavier cash can be deployed at different levels. It's not a Fibonacci extension. It's probably nothing strategically that you've looked at individually. But I hope that that level of business acumen and trade sophistication exists in all of you and in me at all times. Definitely, that's what I want to project to me and the people that are a part of a member of my group. I don't take it lightly at all, as you can kind of see. Just after bringing up the karma coin or whatever that was. No, I'm very, very. I try to be very sophisticated in terms of the strategy that I deploy, both on retracements and on anything like this, which could potentially break out. I don't take it lightly at all when funds are involved, and they're heavy amounts of fund. You can see the girl in the front of your screen, right, with the to the left of the chart right now, with a bag that has $1 and 1 M. Like it's not a money supply, like 1 M money supply. It's $1 million, right? So I've been around some heavy cash in my life. Made some. Hey, Doge is on alert. Ooh, it's close, Doge. You're not quite breaking down. Probably interrupted me just before I started talking about my own cash positions, et cetera, which is probably a good thing. So as we look at this, what are you doing? Bam, bam, sweet spot. You see David, huh? David gets it. Huh? He's like, I'm gonna start doing that. Huh? It's good, huh? Because and you're not just on the Fibonacci extensions. You're on something different that has a kind of a higher propensity to work out, right? Something that you believe in too, and you'll be able to explain to other individuals or even yourself as you sleep well, as you relax, and you can live a little bit. These are these are kind of the key engagements that we get into. It's like the difference of going into a fight and knowing exactly, like, I trained for this. I know I'm ready for this. You look at the guy across the ring, and there's just zero question, right? Other than like, well, I have a sinking feeling, my stomach, knots in my stomach and butterfly. You won't have that when you've done the appropriate analytics. You'll be prepped for the 12 rounds. It won't be a big deal, So you won't need to sweat it. That's nice, huh? You can go 12 rounds with something, no big deal. Hey, sweet, right? That's nice, David. Appreciate you being around. Nice to learn from you in the group, definitely. So Doge has some potential here. Yes, you're gonna play around with your alert, Doge, but. I just say it's been slow moving. It's been nice the last 24 hours. We went through an accumulation phase to the extent that people put in and left in. That worked out well for people in the group. I was pricing out. I was pricing out and then delivering kind of key features of Doge over the last several days. And I did last night. Last night I sent a message to people, and I could show that just to let you guys know what we did. I don't need to show that. It's information I sent to VIP, but just it was on a kind of a derivative. It was essentially deriving action from like it was a number 2 here. Like okay, Doge will gain, Matic should gain. Okay, if Bitcoin goes up, it was a hypothetical played out on kind of a 4-screen basis, and it played out very well. Right, it played out very well in terms of that. And you're talking straddle strangles and, barrier code with an iron butterfly, brother. There you go with David. No one's going to understand what we just said, right? It's like, okay, fine. Everyone's like, I don't like this. I don't even understand what they're saying. We're talking options for a minute in terms of pricing, et cetera. David's, he's been on, I don't know. He's been on a lot of different options, different things. Just play lightly, David. I don't want to lose you, brother. I lose people. It's nothing from what I've done. You know that too. I'm like, what I say is like, do your calculatives, get Excel. Program the thing with. If you want to program your options with SQL Server and Microsoft Access, like go with it, right? Run it through a pipeline, a fiber. Do whatever you need to international just to get things together, right? Let me see. The community is super strong and spreading nothing but love. That's really nice. I appreciate that, Yao Nation. Saying the Doge community is spreading only love. Just take a closer look in your free time. I think your opinion will change. That's nice. Nobody believed in Doge until it was too late. That's not true. That no one believed in Doge until it was too late. That's not true. We've been around since like 007. All right. Yeah. So that just qualified. Sorry, bro. You just got kicked off the channel. That qualified as a shill. So if you're still listening, don't DM me and don't do any of that. I just brought up 2 different charts on my system on your shill coin for $5 here. Wrong spot to do it. Just don't do it here. If you're still listening, I appreciate everything. We take things very seriously. We have people with real kinds of money jumping around here. So that's just it. That's the deal. And it's not that I won't tolerate like misinformation and things like that. It's like no, plenty of people believed in Dogecoin. Plenty of people did very, very well in Dogecoin. And it's on the tail end of 2 different charts on some deal. I'm glad that he showed up, but he's been around since Harmony 1, and that's fine. That's his. I just don't have a big tolerance when I know the crowd that we have here that lasts here, and that is a functional crowd in terms of functional traders, functional real investment kind of people that have real funds, and we don't deal with. Hey, Marion, what's up? Speaking of a good guy, nice to see you, Marion. I hope Belgium's doing well, and good morning, brother. How are you? How's Belgium this morning? Big shout out to you. We'll put some maybe some cool tunes on. We'll put some morning tunes on for Marion. But we just kicked a dude out who wanted to shill and all this different stuff. We like market information. We like intelligent people who want to deal with the market, right? So it's no problem. And you guys, we're not overly strict. I'm very protective of my group. I'll go through some different dynamics, but we're intelligent people. Right, and if something's a good deal, I say this: if it's a good investment, there's no worries, there's no real rush on it, because if it's a good investment today, it'll be a good investment tomorrow. Right, timing is a part of the plan, right, a part of the equation. But hey, if it's a good investment today, it's going to be a good investment tomorrow, right? So there's no rush, and it should be showing itself as a good investment today, just like it will tomorrow, right? So it shouldn't be a real stretch. Something's fun, it's a good investment, a big community. Okay, that's fine. If it's throwing out warning signs in every different direction, maybe that's something we need to kind of take a look at. So that's nice. Let me see. This would be you'll laugh at this. This would be for me bringing him up. Let's see what this is.
Come on, move! Come on!
That's him, huh? Okay, so I wanted to throw that up. I've had that sound clip, and I haven't wanted to play it too much. I haven't had a reason to, but if you come in here and you want to talk about some deal that's off the back right corner of like a pancake flop, the new exchange is pancake flop. It's like, no thanks, get it onto something meaningful. Otherwise, you're gonna hear the crowd come after you like that. So anyway, Marion, we just had a bad dude come in here. I don't know, maybe he's a good guy, but he's been around for a while. I'm like, you're not representing me like that. You've been around the channel for a long time, and now you want to come shill something like, no thanks. Pretty much we know who belongs, right? It's just if you haven't joined by this time, it's just I don't know. You come back and shill some. Boo, that's funny. Let's see what we have. Let me find some music for the morning in Belgium. You probably have a good music tune there. Let me see what I got. There we go. Get some tunes going. Wake you up a little bit. The market has been good last 24 hours. It's turned a little bit red. Just a little bit red. A tinge of red. Right? And that's okay. That's okay. Let's see what we got here. Let me get this. Let me go ahead and pull this back over here. That's a little better. Let me make sure that we're squared away on the charts. Man, what a weekend, huh? What a great deal to spend 6 hours. Yeah, 6 hours on Saturday, huh? Just digging through the coins, right? Had to. And what happened? It worked out, huh? We had some price action. Yeah, everybody's like, and we were prepared, huh? We knew exactly what to get into, huh? Kind of the 2 top coins, 2 major. Yeah, you guys have to say it worked out, huh? And it wasn't from another. The good thing you guys know, it wasn't from another station. It was filtered through the top level of what we could put it through, right? Yeah, that's what we want, huh? As a group, that's something we can really be excited about, right? Yeah, I'm excited about that we were able to put together, and we've worked on Theta Coin, right? Tfuel. We've worked on that. In the description is a link of a place to go to, an exchange to get that, okay? You can go to that exchange and buy it. Set an account up with that link. You'll love it. It's an awesome exchange. I love it. So that exchange is called Gate, G-A-T-E, and you will like that exchange. It has got some technical indicators on it like you will not believe. It is just phenomenal, guys. It's solid. I'll get into it at some point. I'll redo some things and I'll bring it up on the screen. But I just, honestly, I literally think when I start bringing it up on the screen, you guys are going to abandon whatever else you're trading with, you're going to get out of it. I don't even know if you need the pro edition of the, I'll just tell you this. The problem is I don't want to sell it too hard because the big caveat is it has a weird community. I do not recommend it, guys, for the community. We got David Sweet in the house. Let me see what you got to say. There we go. David normally does something fun, huh? That's nice to see, brother. David, I think it's an eggplant. I'm not sure what it is. It's probably, Marion just asked him how he's doing. That would be him. That would be David, flying colors, man. That's nice. David's a big timer. We love David, huh? We love Marion too. They're good people. Let me see. Pump the jam like red, me on a green. Eye on the way to me. Cool. Let me, I will make a note of that. Make sure that we have that kind of music. We'll plug that in. Marion's a great guy. He's really making a concerted effort to log positive and to book positive trades. We love that, right? I just love that. I got to tell you, booking positive trades will make the difference, guys. You start to look at things and it's like, well, you know, we want to make more money. We want to, multiply our money. How many times do you have to make 20% to multiply your money by 2? 4 times. You're going to multiply your money by 2 if you can hit 4 20% trades. How many with 10% trades? How many with 5% trades? If you just continue to do it, it's been a while, right? You've been in the market a while. You're still playing risky with things, huh? You could be booking like 5%, 10% trades, right? You could. You could be multiplying your money by 2. But you guys still want to jump in that next big thing that's going to hit. Well, this is going to be a 3x, a 5x. This is, continually, It's like, I'm going to play pool, right? Like pool, right? You just sit there in the cue ball. I got a real bad habit. Every time I hit it too hard, every time I rear back and I hit it too hard, it's going to fly off the table. And I know that, right? But, it's like me getting down there and like purposely almost saying, well, this time I'm going to hit the heck out of it. Whoa, why would you do that? You keep hitting it off the table there. Some friend of yours is going to come along and say, hold on, whoa. Every time you do that, you keep hitting it off the table. I know, man, but I mean, I want to play pool. We're playing pool, right? Yeah, we're playing pool, but you don't have to hit it that hard. Huh? You're going to lose your turn, huh? Don't you lose your turn or something? Something. I don't know, but it's a decent example. Just, be cool with it. All I'm going to say is be cool with it. That does not sound like financial advice. Just be cool with it, all right? Because you can be. And it's not necessarily easy. It takes a little bit of discipline, but you're in the market, and most of you want to be like traders full time. Or maybe you are. And you're chilled out, etc. That's fine if you are. And you just have natural luck, and it's all real easy. The more you do it, if you do it for like a living, etc., it can be very easy. But just chill with it, right? Nothing wrong with that. Just relax. Enter into a trade. Book a positive trade. You don't have to sit there and every time you lean into the cue ball, just I'm gonna kill it. Whoa. You don't have to hit it that hard. I want 50% of whoa, man. Just whoa. Why don't you book a positive trade? Why don't you try and hit the ball? And why don't you try and hit another ball and hit it into a pocket? Oh. Yeah, because you might actually win a game. You might actually become competitive. Why don't you work on hitting one ball, right? Yeah, hit the ball. And why don't you try and sink a shot? Just why don't you try it that way? No, I got to hit it. I'm going to hit it as hard as I can. Whoa. I mean, you might hit one in, like it might look like amazing when you hit it, like whoa. But I mean, the ball is flying all over the room. You know, it's just chaos, right? It's uncontrollable. That's typically the mentality of people who want to make a lot of money. I'm gonna nail this thing. Whoa. Just, you guys get the analogy. It's like, no, just relax and hit the ball. Hit that one and try and sink one, right? Yeah, okay. A little bit different of a strategy other than like, you know, you're convinced you want to make money. You're convinced you want to make that in. I'm going to nail this thing. Whoa, it's not that big of a deal. The more solid trades that you book, okay, you're just going to have a different, it's going to be different, guys. I look forward to that being a little different for you. So, yeah, it's going to be a good thing. And we have a great group. I love our group. Honestly, I love it. You guys know that too, huh? Best group ever. Absolutely, huh? And you guys who are listening to everything else, it's nice to have you guys. Look at that. Nice chart, huh? You have to say, that's a beautiful chart, huh? Look at that Dogecoin chart. Sweet. Look at that, huh? Just nicely done. I have to say, how all the elements of the chart come together. Like, that's one you really want to look at, huh? That's really nice, huh? That's sweet, huh? Like beautiful, like, you know, EMA ribbon lines, everything else kind of coming together. We have to appreciate the price action sometimes. Look at what we're trading, look at what you're doing, take a step back and say, whoa, if this is on a TV or something like that, looks nice, huh? Yeah, you know what that is, right? Yeah, you're sophisticated enough. You definitely know, like, the entry spots in this, right? Yeah, you know the targeted entries. You know exactly why it hit right here and why it hit right here. We got kind of that shadow effect going on. That's like the shadow effect of the RSI being demonstrated for you, huh? Live on the pricing action. That's nice, huh? Yeah, that's sweet, huh? That looks good, huh? Pretty nice stuff, huh? So that's what we've been trading. It's like, well, there's not enough price action. Kind of slower. Well, okay. So it's not flying around a room, huh? It's not getting you too excited. You're going to be able to relax and just hit a shot. Just lean over on the pool table, relax, and just sink a shot. You're going to be able to do that, huh? Because for some of us, we'd like to go out like with golf or anything else. I mean, I will hit the ball. I'm convinced the harder I swing that thing, you know, I want to just crank it over the fence, right? Yeah, slice the heck, it went over there. I need a new one, right? I need a new account. That's no fun, huh? No, huh? That's not fun. We don't want that, huh? I want you guys to continue to do well and continue just nice and smooth. Bam. There you go. Just boom. Falls right in the pocket, right? Nice and smooth. Setting up your next shot. Smooth. Enough time to think about your next shot. Just no problem. You'll get into the big, you know, money hits and this and that, and on the break, bam. You know, you'll get into all that stuff. You gotta flex up your muscles. Make sure your equipment's right. Make sure you know the pool. Make sure you know the layout, huh? Yeah, so it's a good thing. That's a good analogy to kind of use. And you guys are definitely doing that. It's nice to see you guys relax and play the game, right? May you be playing for a while. Maybe you get some, you know, you get competitive with it. Yeah. So let's see who all is here. We can go over some different details. I just like that chart for right now. That's nice. Doge's not doing too much. Kind of underperforming, but there's some big moves possible for Dogecoin. Since we're kind of working into the evening, there are some big moves possible for Dogecoin. No hype, just let Tesla rear its head up on Doge and say, hey, that's gonna be nice. Mars in the house. I hear you, David. Last 2 days been pulled away in this week. Is looking. What do we got? Doge on the I really appreciate your dedication to each other, just checking in, guys. And the only incentive that I have to feel better about the fact would be that you guys are communicating well. That's it. The only incentive is maybe I want to feel better about it. I wouldn't even say that's my real incentive, though, is I want to feel better about you guys getting together and talking more and being a better team and everything like that in the back rooms. No. That's not even my incentive. I'll take feeling bad, this and that, or working extra, whatever it may be, just hustling extra, you know. I'll take all that if Japanese yen just popped up. If, guys, I mean, I'll work extra hard. Let's say that. It doesn't necessarily feel good. It does in a different way, but I'll work extra hard, right? I'll put in some sweat equity to deliver some good results to you guys. You guys know that, right? So it's not all about a feel-good and emotional experience. Like, you know, market's not built to be emotionally, like, pleasing. That's not it. I just want you guys to do well. I want you to do well. I want you to interact and use. I mean, why would you take a group of traders? Yeah, slow, smooth as fast, like that. Definitely. Why would you take a group of, like, if you were to hire 10 or 15 analysts, and maybe part of it is like, well, you're competitive and you want to beat the other analysts. I can see that. You don't want to interact that much. These are your ideas. You're part of a community, huh? I'd rather use the whole trading floor. Yeah, I'd rather use all of the brokers, all of the analysts. I mean, so we could put like, how many? Let me say we could put one supercomputer on the job, or we could put 50 all over the world on the job. All right, I'm going to go with the 50 all over the world. That's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to work the efficiencies. I'm going to work, just the group dynamic is a good one. I think you guys know that. There's, it's just, you're really unique too. I don't know. When you guys unplug when things are down and then maybe back in when things are up, it's just understand when things are down, that's the time to plug in, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the time to plug in. Where are your pricing targets? Where are you at, right? And definitely just interacting. Like, we need to see that because I'm going to tell you guys, there's a new exchange in the pinned tweet. If you can see that, the pinned tweet, one of them is a join, the VIP. The other in the pinned tweet should be, I think it is, thegate.io. Open up the gate. Open up the gate. Go to thegate.io. You can get your Tfuel there, okay? Theta Fuel. If you want to start working those fibs on Tfuel, okay, that's got a little more price action. That's going to be moving. That's the number one kind of market mover right now. Didn't get that from any other group. Didn't get that from anything. I looked through 200 coins on Saturday, and I picked that up myself. Okay? And it was the market mover during Saturday, et cetera, and through that, stepping up. And you're going to just check it out on a laptop. You guys get into Gate. What's up, Kent Gifford in the house? What's up, brother? Nice to see you. My man, what's up? Always good to see you. Always. Sincerely. You know that. Absolutely. No qualm about that. Now, when you look into Gate.io, guys, you're gonna just love it. You're gonna be like, good gosh, this is nice, right? You are going to love it. Like, really love it. That's just the truth. So, I mean, the layout, the form, the function, it's just sweet. You're not gonna get much better than the way that it's laid out. Just wait. Just enjoy it, and you're gonna see it like, wow, okay. Because the technical interface on Gate is just rocking, absolutely rocking. Let me see. There's some different approaches I could take to try and to show it. I'd rather just display it tomorrow to the extent that I choose to, or you guys want to. I just need to make sure that none of my, like I'm on ETH right now. I just need to make sure that none of my, I need to set up a different account maybe with nothing in it, just at all, because I don't want any of my, my figures out there, if you guys can appreciate that. So I'll set up something different that doesn't have, I was looking at my ETH, or the ETH chart, let me say. ETH chart. I don't want my figures to necessarily be out there in terms of any kind of positions or even orders or anything like that. So you guys be patient with me a little bit on that. I would appreciate it. I think that would be beneficial for everyone. So let's see what we have. I'm not sure what else do we need to go through. You guys tell me. what else we need to go through, and then we'll hit it. Let me kind of take a step back and think, is there anything else we wanted to cover? We do have the top left dedicated to Angel Matos. The top right might belong to Andrew. I don't know, Andrew. I don't know. I just feel like that, huh? I feel like that. But, you know, I can't get emotional about things, right? True, huh? True. Can't get emotional in the market. That's a great point. So, let's see what we got. So, Doge. I wanted to complete this channel right here because everything else is, right? But it's slow moving, right? Like Jason said, it's slow. Slow is smooth, right? Whatever he said. I drive race cars. Fast is loose, huh? Loose is fast. Doesn't mean it's profitable. So, in terms of this, just I'd like to see it complete this channel because it's kind of important. Now, Andrew and I talked about channels. It's like, I'm not big on channels. I'm into Fibonacci's, right? I have gone to the channel as a counter. Get this one. You love it. Andrew's sitting there like, oh, now we're in channels. No. I don't focus on them because I don't like the fact that they constrict you away from the focus of, and I just need to follow my own kind of, as we look at this, what's the big thing I always want to go back to? I'm glad I did. I just listen to myself. It's important. It always is. Why? Because the important thing are the Fibonacci's. Why? Because they have the pricing targets on them. I am going to burn this song. I don't mean to. It's just, I like the first 2 or 3 minutes of it, and then I stopped liking it. So anyway, okay, fine. I got to go into the high stakes, guys. I'm going into high stakes. All right. Now, we focus on Fibonacci's all the time. Why? That's the equivalent of me saying, I want to get to my pricing targets. Same thing. All right? So every time I say on the Fibonacci's, maybe we need to start saying, and maybe this is a good discussion to have, okay, let's get to the pricing targets. I want to focus on my pricing targets. Because we always say the Fibonacci's, it's kind of a nice, eloquent word to use. For what? For our pricing targets. What matters? Nothing. Other than what? Our pricing targets. Well, we have a general idea of this. Okay, great. Do you have any idea what the price is? Whether or not it's high, whether or not it's low, what the trend is? Is it amidst retracement? Are you literally buying into something that's literally retracing right now? And if you were to invest, because people, all different types of great business people, will invest in something thinking that they've done their due diligence and, well, they believe in the company on the fundamentals. Crypto is full of people who are convinced of the idea that they have found the next great technology, right? They haven't. They have found an asset that has a story, that has price action, that's in a different part of the trend. It's either in a bullish part of the trend or a retracement. It's in either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the build up, or an ABC of the expected follow-up sequence of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It's maybe M pattern formation or a W. It's we can slice and dice all through all the niceties of however we want to categorize things, and probably go through all the different personalities that we've all listened to, right? What's important? Pricing targets. What never fails? Pricing targets. It just doesn't. I did a different pricing target tool today. I just wanted to let you guys kind of know. What is this? It's loud. They changed my high stakes. What is this all about? They changed my high stakes? I'm sorry. They changed my high stakes? All right. Interesting. I'm not sure that was smart, but I don't know why they would change my high stakes. That's okay. what we are seeing with the representation of the RSI is that we need to kind of come in contact with the RSI to have a move up, at least during this dynamic. You'll see we're coming in contact with this blue area underneath is representative of the RSI, okay? This is the RSI underneath. When the price comes in contact with the RSI, it has to come in contact with that RSI. It's on the same chart. I put it on the same chart so we could have a discussion about it, because it's always on a different, part of the chart. You have to look away from the price action to visualize it. Now you see it on the same picture, okay? Digging into the RSI, you see a lift. Digging into the RSI, smaller lift. Contact again, RSI, that's at 30, okay? Each one of these is at 30. Then a nice trajectory. Now we can put it on the top as well. It becomes very clouded, or it becomes very constricted. I've chosen this to kind of just talk about because it's decent to look at. It has kind of a nice layover. You guys play around with your indicators. Go through RSI. I'm not sure what they are. You guys want to know? I want to let you know so you can play with this. Look at the RSI. I may have to get that to you. I don't want you to spend an hour looking for all the different ones. If you look up divergence, I think it's going to show you. Just in general, just do a divergence search on your indicators. You'll find. Now this, you can, it's nice because you can click into this and you can completely change whatever you want to change, right? You see? So now we're really looking at the RSI in line with, as a complement to our pricing targets. We're looking into like a real nice demonstration of the RSI relative to the price. So, and we have the EMA bands on. So those are some different indicators that we look at. I'll tell you, these buy-sell indicators that everybody likes to kind of put up, it's okay. You can kind of just have fun with them. You can delete them as they come along. You just can, because 1 out of 5 is going to be completely wrong. No problem. With a strategy and technical analysis, you're not going to have to delete very much. You won't even have to delete your trades very often. If you have the strategy to back up your let's see. Essentially, your technicals, you're fine. Whatever technical approach you have, you're not going to need to imagine that. Excuse me. You would not need to delete your trades. I mean, can you imagine? A lot of times you would want to just say, I really need to delete that. Huh? That was a bad trade, huh? Oof, that's a bad trade. Can you believe that you wouldn't have to delete your trades if you had the right strategy? That's nice. I think that's nice. I like that aspect. You wouldn't have to delete any of your trades if you have the right strategy. That's pretty stout, huh? That's awesome. That's the way to roll, huh? So what's your strategy? You guys have it, huh? Heavyweight cash on the at the lower levels, available to deploy at the lower levels. And even at those lower levels, still heavyweight cash below. Not that you're not involved at any point in time, right? And that's when, once you start booking positive trades, just trust the fact that there is a way, right? There's a way to get where you want to go. I'm going to tell you that. And it comes with probably experience in the market, right? Just don't ever get frustrated like, well, this method, guys, book positive trades. There's a way to get where you want to go. It's pricing targets, right? Right now, What do you deal with all the time? It lets you know whether or not you've reached your goal. Pricing targets, okay? We deal with chart formation. We deal with trends. We deal with technical chart formations, etc., breakouts. We do all different types of stuff. You guys, we can go ad nauseum into that. Just with the right strategy, the big point I'm going to go through right now, okay, is right strategy. You guys don't have to delete your trades. Can you imagine not wanting, needing to, etc.? You haven't had a trade all year long that you had to delete, or you wanted a bad trade? I was always covered. Wow, huh? Bet you've done well, huh? Yeah. Think about that. You guys have a strategy. Everyone listening right now, you have a strategy where you would never have to delete any of your trades. You believe that, huh? You're able to double down at lower levels or triple down, 4x, 5x, something like that. Huh. Whether or not you choose to, that's why it's also nice to, I'm looking at Sheeb right now, right? Yeah, and I'm bringing this up kind of for that reason, also with Tfuel, because you have to kind of be ready for the fact that you're getting into retracements on Tfuel, right? Well, you just got into the trade, right? You just essentially, we just think we picked up some Tfuel. We just got into Gate. Did you? Awesome. You did, huh? That's awesome, huh? Because I qualified that one up pretty heavily. I spent a lot of time on Saturday doing comparatives, etc. Yeah. To understand who's involved, what the parties are. I haven't found too much more of an impressive deal. I'm really glad that people started asking the question, well, how do we buy it? I'm really glad you started asking those questions. I want to see, like, you guys are going to figure it out. What are you going to do? So everyone figured it out, huh? With good crypto, huh? It's good. It's a good liquidity checker right here. Yeah, good crypto. You betcha, huh? Data Fuel, look what it does. That's a brand new bad boy right there. Gate.io, huh? Sure is, right? I think it's better than that boy right there, Binance. Definitely better than that boy. They all have advantages, I'm sure. Imagine if there's cool stuff like that we'll get to in like 6 months or something, huh? That'll change the rest of your trading career. That's kind of cool. What if it's like a lot better than that too, huh? That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, huh? It'll change the rest of your trading career, like the rest of your life, your profitability, everything. That's kind of cool, huh? We're going to cover that in like 6 months, man? Wow. That means maybe you have some time, huh? No one's in like a real big rush to do stuff, huh? It means like maybe Lars's idea is cool. I like that. Have a summit. I like that. Go have a summit. That's Lars's. Credit to Lars, huh? Love Lars. He's awesome. Lars, we got to make sure that link works properly for you. I want to know if that link worked for you for the gate. I gave you a link. I know you went through the KYC, know your customer. This is going to be a lot of fun to work on in terms of, what is this? Tfuel. Let's look. Yeah, Tfuel is going to be fun. It just is. I wanted to retrace. I've already got all these lined out here. See on the right-hand side? Tons of things. I mean, tons of price. It almost starts to look like Matic, doesn't it? That's good, huh? We're getting a vibe down in terms of, yeah, we're starting to get a little bit of a recognition of, in terms of how things look, right? Because, this, I could literally change to this. And if you know Matic, right? You know that this is literally, if I show you guys and really highlight this, it's exactly this right here. Except I think we're at a different time. We're kind of in a different time slot here with Tfuel. I think we're in a different time slot. But I would just be very interested to see how these want to really behave, because I don't know. I'm not going to say too much about it. I think that it's great training ground right now. You guys, there's not really an expression of this degree of strength anywhere in the market right now. There's just not. Could we have caught it here? We sure could have, That's okay. I like where we caught it. You guys, Andrew, I think you like where we caught it potentially, huh? Right? I'm just going to do that, okay? And that's okay to say I like where we caught it. I think you guys are plugged in, right? That I like kind of where we caught it. Because at some point you'd want to say, all right, that's interesting, that's good. You know, people are focused on trading, booking positive trades, aren't they? They sure are. On things that they're really focused on, they understand the pricing dynamics of. So to throw another variable in there, it's kind of, it's kind of like, wow, well, we're going to throw another variable in, like a potential, like, variable for the group, right? But once we decided, to say, hey, how's it going? We do some additional diagnostics, and it looks like something interesting could kind of be happening here. Could kind of be happening. So we'll want to take a continued look at that, right? Because that's the type of circumstance that we're kind of familiar with that, aren't we? Yeah. Hey, why don't we check out Matic? You guys want to look at Matic? Yeah, we're kind of familiar with that. Let's why don't we take a look at Matic? You guys want to take a look at Matic? See how Matic is doing? Yeah, we might as well. Huh? Let's take a look at Matic. Let's do that. So anyway, if things were to play out well, there's a lot of volatility that wound up happening in Matic. That was kind of like the go-to thing for the market. If we could find another example of something that turned into kind of the go-to thing for the market, and it was really disruptive, a lot of volatility, we would definitely want to pinpoint. If it took us finding 4 or 5 of those before we really found the next one of those, heck, man, we'd be happy to do that, huh? All day long. It was fun for us, huh? Definitely fun. Yeah. So yeah, Matic has been a tremendous, amount of fun. It'd been pretty wild, huh? We stay up late on this stuff, huh? It's like super caffeine. What is it? But yeah, that's a nice kind of a rough look there that it expressed to us, but it got into a different phase. Interesting price. What was that price around there? I think it was about 40 cents and around there. You guys remember that? Yeah, around 40 cents. Yeah, around 40 cents. Yeah, I want to say around 40 cents then. Brought it to you guys about twice that. It had gone through another real bullish. It was in the midst of a kind of real extended bullish endeavor that now it looks real solid, but back then no one was really paying attention at all because you really had to condense the chart on it for it to start looking like a pennant or anything like that, And in fact, it didn't even want to really treat it like that. It just, I remember the heavy accumulation during this period. Remember that? Quote unquote heavy accumulation. The charts for heavy accumulation out of this, even amidst the retracement, right? Yeah. So it's just interesting. So that was about 40 cents. Yeah. So let's look back at Tfuel real quickly. Just kind of say hello. Let me get rid of all these so it doesn't look like Matic. So 40 cents. All right. So let's look at kind of where things are at now. I kind of want to pay attention. That's interesting. Just the whole dynamic of that. It's okay. It's interesting. We'll see how interesting it is. There's a positive part to it, not conforming. I'll say that. Now, let's see. The other one was about, what do we look at? Let's see what this is about of the breakout. Around about 40 cents. Right about 40 cents. That's good. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Formation if it wants to kind of play ball. Now, if it doesn't, the fact that it's having, and I say play ball, you guys understand, like out of the park, play ball. If it doesn't, we have a low enough price right now, and we have enough levels in terms of our pricing targets. Yeah, we have enough in terms of our pricing targets and so I'd say a low enough level, distinct enough levels of, I'd say, or distinct enough volatility, right? And timing in terms of you know, its highs, etc. That we're okay, guys. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to interact with. So anyone who doesn't have Gate, I just think it would be fun to interact with Gate. You know, if you just want to watch it, you know, I mean, and no financial advice. Just if you just want to sit there and watch it, you know, just sit there and have fun and watch it, you know. I don't know. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you just enjoy watching it. I'm not watching it right now. I mean, you know, you can, but there's a reason why I'm watching it. Anyway, maybe with you as well. But it's exciting because I like finding something else new that everybody else is kind of like, well, no. The more you looked at it, like, maybe it's interesting, right? So that's cool. And we'll see. Just if it wants to consolidate and go sideways, is it going to bother me? Not at all. If it flusters out and we have another opportunity to find 4 or 5 more of these, that's fine. The next one, if this flusters out, would it be more important? Maybe you want to find it up in here? Maybe. That's fine. But the only problem, you did find it up in here. People might become involved in it, right? Now, you didn't have a good comparative. Maybe we have one to look at Matic or something. But, you know, if you wanted to get involved in here on a breakout, you're like, you didn't bring this earlier. Well, I know, huh? And look what it did, huh? People didn't like that, you know, full-on, what was it, accumulation phase in Matic. People weren't too crazy about accumulating all the way back down, believe it or not, to the full retracement level, huh? Sounds like maybe they didn't have backup reserves, huh? They just, you know. You see? So this is the same kind of like full accumulation schedule. People didn't really like that on Matic. Believe it or not, people just kind of put off by the idea that maybe they should have gone through a full accumulation phase, right? And I have that, right? I have literally the copy of this equivalent breakout in Matic saying like heavy accumulation, right? That this one or that. It's just, you know, so it doesn't mean that people are going to like it. And, you know, it's okay. Your preferences are important. Absolutely. So, and this was a nice little launch, you know. This is not bad, huh? This was a long time ago, huh? February 2020, huh? So, it's been a long process, hasn't it? It's almost like you have to give this one some time, huh? That's a long, drawn-out process there, isn't it? Wow, huh? And I wonder what that means for this, huh? What do you guys think, huh? Because that's a pretty long, drawn-out process, isn't it? Really seems like that since when is this now? Let's go ahead and look at it now. It's not last year, it's this year. No kidding, huh? Well, I obviously need to get a little closer to the monitor. When is this? February of 2021. It's not 2020. I'm like, where's the crash anyway? It didn't happen. I was like, that would be really phenomenal. Sorry for the misspeak. That's fine. Let's go back into it if we can. Since we messed that up. Since I just messed that up. It's nice to mess something up. I didn't do it on purpose. I wouldn't do that. Let's see what we have. Let's go back to there. We're at February. It's not that far away. Let's look at what we have. Apologize for the misspeak. Let's see what we have here. The misspoken portion of the previous. All right, let's look here. This would be, there we go. That's the breakdown. March 2020. There we go. Angle my monitor a little bit better. There we go. So this is in around, it's at 0.001. That's nice. We can all play. Whoa, there you go. Did well there, didn't it? Maybe we'll pick up on something here. Let's see. Dun dun dun. 001 to 023. Okay. It's a nice move. Maybe we'll get some characteristics here. It's a nice move. Yeah, it's a nice move. Sorry for the date. That's my fault. Get some indications in terms of what this has been doing. Watch this move up to 36 cents. This is December of 2020. So that's December of 2020. That's a nice time, huh? Yeah, that's decent. From about 10 cents to 38 cents. Yeah, that wants to do good things.